Okay. When last we left you, Blue Hearts, you were in the process of trying to track down one of the bounties that you had taken from Detective Bowles. This one for a serial killer in the city known as Morden Saviano. After pursuing some leads, you investigated Saviano's underground lair beneath his hideout, almost falling into a trap which you managed to narrowly escape, and then subsequently did a little bit of further research to try to circumvent. Ultimately, you managed to get to Saviano's inner sanctum, where you found out some information about some of his plans to conduct some great experiment. These hints pointed you toward the south slums of the city, where it looked like Saviano was targeting some of the orc gang. A quick scry revealed that his target appeared to be Big Mama and her sister, Violet. You proceeded to do some investigation, found the warehouse where they were being held prisoner just in time to free them from the trap that they were placed within. As soon as you had rescued them, Big Mama mentioned that it seemed as if Saviano was not in fact targeting orcs, but was in fact planning his magnum opus, his greatest work, in which he would be targeting the close loved ones of certain heroes of the city. Ellen and
Ooh.
Sissel quickly raced back to the stronghold, only to discover that a number of people had gone out for the day, headed to the markets. Specifically, Moira and Ariad had gone off to the market for some purpose, and Hulk had gone out to purchase some ingredients for the evening's meal. After racing back to your friends and notifying them of what had happened, you all began to proceed toward the market to see if you could track down your friends before it was too late. And that is where we pick up. As you reconvene in the alleyway outside the Bronze Jackals Casino, and Sissel has just relayed this information to all of you, what is your next move?
Scream?
Wait, so where are we all located right now?
You're currently in the alleyway outside the Bronze Jackal Casino, so we're just literally picking up from where last session left off.
Okay. And both parties that are not at the stronghold are both in the market somewhere.
That is what you've been led to believe, yes.
Yeah. So we're going to go, right? Like, we don't... We don't have time.
I'm trying to decide if I would use a spell. I am like running low on. I'm at half at my spell points, and I like don't want to keep fucking using sending and fucking scry and all these spells that like drain my spell points before I even get into like a dangerous situation. Yeah, I imagine we're probably already hustling in the direction of the market.
Yeah.
How far away is it?
Yeah.
You are, if you have the map of Arcadia still, you can see where it says Bronze Jackal HQ. That is where you are at the moment.
Oh, I need to open the map.
It's way down in our pins. It's like the 4th pin. Here, I'll just...
I see it. I found it.
But you can see way in the west.
We also have a handout of it.
Right. So you can see way in the west there of the southern part of the city is the Bronze Jackal HQ. And the Market Square it's not too far away.
How long would it take for us to get there?
If you're hustling, trying to push your way through the streets, probably a good 10 minutes.
Yeah. And I imagine, like, Ellen and I are still on the broom.
Oh, yeah. Yep. If you want to rush ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, we're gonna bolt.
Did we learn what...
I might do something.
Ooh.
Did we learn what they were going to the market for? Hull was getting ingredients.
Yeah, you don't know what Moira was doing, no.
Well, Hull might be easier to find. I mean, I don't know how is the market like separated by food, or is it basically the complete?
Well, you know a few of the locales that you can go for. I mean, the market stalls themselves have various goods that you can pick up that local sellers are trying to sell their wares at, but there is also a grocer that you've been to before? It's a general store.
The general store.
Does his whole pickup? We probably don't know anything about where he goes to pick up ingredients or what like quality he picks up. Like, is the general store known for? I don't know. We probably don't know any of this shit.
You know.
You want beetroot?
Beetroot.
Like fucking beetroot. I guess. I wish someone else had sending. I hate that I'm the only one that can do this, and I'm also the only person who can do any.
Okay, I want to do something weird.
Go for it.
Cast polymorph on myself.
Okay.
Oh.
I want to transform into an eagle, and I'm gonna fly
Oh.
up towards the market.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna
Shit.
start like using my eagle vision, keen sight, to start looking for them.
Okay. So you all watch as Hiraeth says a few magical words, and her form transmogrifies into a small eagle, which immediately takes off into the air with
And
a
it's
whoosh.
it's like kind of wobbly at first when it's flying. And,
Oh,
like, almost looks like it's gonna
no.
fall for a second, but then
Oh right.
it starts to like actually fly a little bit easier.
Yeah, Hiraeth overcoming her fear of heights to find
She
her
doesn't
friends.
go too high. She's like
We
skimming
didn't-
across the
Did you?
building.
Sorry. I don't remember you making any comment about the fact that we were all falling from thousands of feet in the air about Heraeth's fear of heights. Was that a thing? Like she,
Well, you
I
were
don't
all
There was
remember.
a lot. There's
Yeah.
a lot going on. Well, we were flying.
Heraeth was in shock.
Yeah, I mean,
Here
Here-
wasn't. Yeah.
Your
I
Earth
remember that.
might not like flying, but she's had to do it a lot more often since all
So,
this.
just an FYI, if you're gonna do perception checks, yeah, you get advantage on them, but per polymorph,
I have
you
to use the
yeah,
eagle
you have to use
stats.
the eagle stats,
I know.
which is only a +4 to perception rolls.
+4.
It's
Yeah.
higher than mine.
I think you have like a +9 or something.
I only
to-
see a +2 for the eagles.
It has a bonus. If you look under skills, it has a bonus in perception.
You're right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have a +11 when I'm a normal ass person, but I felt that like, since I'm moving and able to like, I have like better eyesight going
Fair enough.
further. Like, I thought I'd be able to cover more ground this way.
Okay, so you whoosh off with a flying speed of 60 feet.
Holy shit.
You will get there in half the time that everybody else does, except for Sissel. Sissel's and Ellen are going to zoom off a little bit slower than you. What are the rest of you doing in the meantime?
I'm asking around. I think with Verna.
Okay, where are you doing? Are
I
you?
could.
It's a good
If we're-
question.
Well, I mean,
Okay, to give you a perspective of the market square, the market square is in size and density. Picture, the way I explained it last time was picture the National Mall in DC on Obama's inauguration day.
Holy shit.
It's that big and that crowded.
This ain't
and
your
there's-
Elmer
That's
Pike
just bad
place.
planning.
And there's just market stalls everywhere selling all kinds of goods.
did you say Ellen's was Sissel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Verna and Mido, you're gonna rush off. You're gonna get there. It's gonna take you longer to get there than the rest of the party so far, with the exception of Goff. Goff, I believe, is probably traveling with you. Goff, what are you doing? Are you just rushing off with the other two?
I'm just. I gotta do what golf would do. So I hate when combat the combat hasn't even happened. My spell points are already below half. It bothers the part of my brain that's like, you must be prepared. Like it's so I'm just I'm gonna
do you
use a
wanna do?
sending spell and
Okay.
try
We-
and send a message to Moira.
To Moira. Okay. What are you saying?
Long story. You might be in danger. Where are you?
After a moment, he says, you hear a response from Moira. It sounds a little groggy. She says, danger, I hear seagulls, get here. I don't know where I am.
Seagulls.
They
Okay.
They separated Arya and me.
Oh, for fuck's sake, we just... Good lord. So I turned to... how is everyone, like, how, are we all still close, or are
I
three
think
people
three of the people jetted off.
It's
Okay.
me, you, and Patrick.
Verna,
Verna.
Sissel, Ellen, and Hiraeth have all flown off.
Are they too far away for the earring?
I'm gonna say if you just did the sending spell as everyone was still gathered, just as they're taking off, they're probably still within the 1,000-foot range.
I
Of the
probably,
earrings.
I think Goff would do that. It was just me having hangups because I was like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sissel slams the brakes on the broom.
yeah, I say into the earring, I messaged Moira. She is something about seagulls. She heard seagulls. She's been separated from Arya.
Where? The docks?
She doesn't know. She just said that she heard seagulls and that she was in danger.
Okay, well, the market docks must be seagulls, and that could be anywhere. By the ocean?
Oh,
Can I
Who-
can I use my eagle eyes to try to find seagulls flying?
Yeah, give me a
What do
perception
your
check.
dwarf
I
eyes see?
I turned to
Not a
I
dwarf?
turned to Verna and I like what would you know the city well? What would be?
Oh, natural 20.
Oh!
You definitely see seagulls congregating as you're flying over the marketplace, Hiraeth. You gaze into the east in the distance, and though it's very far away, you immediately laser focus in on a flocks of seagulls that are all along the dockside near the pier. They are typically around the fishing vessels.
Right. Just to check, the earring is like voice speaking, so I wouldn't be able to talk.
Yeah, you would just be like,
Okay.
"Ah."
So what I'll do is I'll like whatever time this takes, I'll fly over towards the docks and then I'll begin to circle them.
Okay.
Just keeping an eye out and like scanning to see if I can see Arya.
Can we see-
did it say
can we see
Arya
her
was
Arya was separated
and
from. So we know that Moira hears seagulls. We don't know anything else. We just know that she's in danger. She doesn't know where she is, and that she hears seagulls. That's all she was able to tell Goff.
Okay. All right, I'll just begin circling. And
Can we
looking.
see Hiraeth's eagle form flying in that direction? Can we follow it?
At this point, if Hiraeth reached there in half the time that you guys did, so you don't even see her anymore.
But did we see the direction she was going in?
Yes, you saw her take off, and just zoom out across the
Uh,
market square.
I turned to Verna and Minos. Is that? Would there be gulls in that direction?
We would know that, but I don't.
Well, there's water in that direction, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you look at the city map in your handouts, you will see that there's it's all along the coast, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there'd be seagulls there.
There be seagulls. I think if I see Hiraeth, like, if it looks like she knows where she's going, I'm gonna follow.
Okay. So you kick on the broom again and zoom off that direction.
Would it be possible to have Goff, Mino, and Verna on the carpet all at the
Yeah.
same time?
Yep.
Without reducing the speed?
What is the capacity again? What did I say?
The capacity is 600 pounds.
Carpet of flying, 600 pounds. So I'm gonna say yeah, it should be fine. Cause how much is Goff weigh?
He's 300 something. That's the
300.
only reason.
Yeah, I don't think between the two of them. Well, with their armor, I'm gonna allow it. I'm not gonna.
Okay, I'm gonna pull that out and have them ask, like, gesture for them to hop on. And
Okay.
get those ladies on this carpet, and then we're gonna gonna slide on over there.
Verna
Okay.
met Carpuncle, right?
I don't think Berna has met Carpuncle.
Is that what we name the carpet?
I think that's what we
Yeah.
named the
Yes.
carpet.
Oh my god.
This thing has a fly speed of only 30. Wait, hold
40.
on. Which one is
It
40?
would be
is for the
faster than
600.
none
Yeah,
of,
okay.
all three of us are 10 feet slower than that, so it would be
You
faster
know,
for all of us to
the
use
funny
it.
thing is, like, the smaller carpets have a faster flight speed.
Well, that makes sense.
This
But
is
Yeah.
a luxury
But God,
carpet.
this is a carpet meant for a big guy because
It's
he
not
has
a
no other
racing
options.
carpet.
to
It's
be
still faster. It would save some
It's
time.
Yeah,
not, it's
you
not
would
the
not-
sports model.
okay, so you all raced with due speed toward the piers. Hiraeth, you're circling over the piers, peering down at all of the various fishing vessels and military vessels that have docked there. What do you wish to do?
Can I cast a perception check looking for either, of course for Arya, but if I'm just, thank you, Red. But also just like, any commotion, any like suspicious characters, things that catch my attention.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
I get it. That's another natural 20.
Oh my
Whoa.
god.
Holy shit.
Just because Mel's not here, he's not hogging all the rolls.
Only rolling in. Well, that was an 8, so it's not completely
It's-
weighted.
It's a natural 20. Okay. As you're glancing over the pier, you focus your vision toward the areas where you see pockets of seagulls, and you kind of scan the nearby docks as well as the nearby streets and buildings. A couple of places look like, I would say that there's really no commotion. There's nothing out of the ordinary or unusual.
Mhm.
You do notice that there are a number of warehouses along the docks where are big enough that, given what you've seen so far and what Saviano has been doing, would be likely candidates for one of his little traps.
Okay. What I'll do going forward then is I'll kind of fly in that direction. And I'm gonna see if I can if any of them, warehouses sometimes have like lights,
Yeah,
windows up near the top.
little
try
windows.
I'll try and
Kinda-
fly by and see
kinda
if
hover
I
up
can see
here.
anything.
I'm gonna be
Okay.
doing the same. Actually, just out of curiosity, is the warehouse that we tangoed with Emma in anywhere in this area?
Yes, in fact.
Hmm.
I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna
Okay.
just fly by and peer
All right.
inside.
So you know, as you're passing by, you know that ever since all of that that stuff was revealed, that Arthur Beaumont was behind a lot of the bad things that have been going on, and all their assets had been seized. A lot of Beaumont properties have been shuttered. So you do pass by the warehouse where Emmett Beaumont was. You do find that a lot of the windows are boarded up, so you cannot see within.
Great.
Hmm.
Is there like... Ugh. Well, they were shuttered, but... Is there like a back door or something somewhere?
Yes. So you can find your way around to a back alley and look at one of the loading docks.
Is it locked?
When you get up to the shutter that is the loading bay, yes, it is locked.
I look at Ellen.
Who wants to take control of Ellen for tonight?
I can do it.
All right, let me give the keys. Let me give you the keys to the Ellen motorcycle.
Vroom, 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 vroom.
Let me give it to you, Tom.
Ellen, the
Verna, do this.
the
God
half
forgive
elven-
me.
God forgive me.
the half elven Swiss Army knife.
I gave you the keys to the Ellen mobile. Don't crash it. It's all yours.
I like how Ellen's bio info reads like a fucking dating app. Ellen
Does
Mahario
it?
is a single half-elf living in the slums, working as an investigator to feed her 3 triplets, 2 boys and 1 girl. Sorry, that I just saw that and I was like, this is a really weird. It's just worded in a strange way.
Mel wrote that 2 years ago. Okay.
I know.
Yeah. It's fine. I wrote my background in green text, so
I know you did. I know you
yeah.
did.
Uh,
I don't even
okay.
remember what mine
So she's rolling. What does she roll for unlocking? Oh,
Uh,
I'm gonna have. Can I have her do a trap check first?
yeah, that's so a trap would be investigation checks, and disarming slash opening would be thieves' tools.
Okay.
And remember that you can't roll lower than, I think it's
Okay.
a
20.
natural 10, basically. Because a 10 is the lowest dice roll that Ellen can get on any of those rolls.
So that's an
So
18 plus.
So actually, it's higher than that because if you
Oh,
look
it's
at
it's
the actual
it's
dice,
it's a
you rolled a 4, which
so
is
it's
actually a 10.
24.
Yeah.
Okay.
10, yeah, 24.
24 for a
Okay.
trap check.
So there are no traps.
Okay. And then thieves tools. What's the?
I'm gonna say
Oh,
that
oh, I
because
have a
Ellen has
button for it.
DC 30, she just unlocks it.
Okay. So she pops it open.
She pops it right open. And the shutter is unlocked. You can pull it
Oh,
up.
I have golf selected when I'm doing these rolls. Well,
It doesn't matter.
Also, before I go into anyone within range in the earring, I'm gonna say, hey, just out of curiosity, I'm just gonna check the Beaumont warehouse. Probably at
Okay.
the end, but worth a shot.
Be safe.
Keep looking.
Okay.
And gonna head
So
on in.
Sissel. Okay. Sissel, as you step within the darkness of the warehouse, the sound of the streets fading behind you, and the light from the day growing ever fainter, you find yourself in a totally pitch black two-story warehouse. You find, as you step within this warehouse space, there are makeshift enclosed rooms to the left and right of you that have been set up, similar to what you
Oh my
saw
god.
Mm.
Did Sissel guess right in the first fucking try?
Yeah.
Oh god. And no one else is in range of the earring?
No, you're still all within range.
I should
Oh,
be
okay.
nearby too.
Each
Okay.
room has a single viewing window upon which you can peer within, and there's 3 in total, 2 on the left and 1 on the right as you enter. It's dark within these enclosed rooms. You can't see anything, especially with your human eyes. And above you, at the far end of this warehouse, above the main entrance, you see a viewing chamber on the second floor with stairs leading up to it. And this viewing chamber has a fair view of the entire building from where it's perched. Here you see the only source of light from within this entire warehouse. It's coming from the chamber itself, and you can make out the silhouette of a humanoid figure moving back and forth behind a set of opaque glass. You're not stealthing though, right? You didn't do a stealth roll?
At this
You wanna
point,
do
I
a
think
stealth roll?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Should I
Give me
roll a stealth roll for Ellen?
If Ellen is going in,
I mean,
I don't know. I
I'm
don't
assuming
know.
Ellen's still on the broom, unless she got off the broom. Well, yeah,
Well,
she
she
probably
had
she
to
would have
unlock the
gotten
door.
off. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, she got off the room.
Shit.
She would have gone inside. Give me a stealth check. In the meantime, I'm gonna say that Sissel, are you sending a message to any of your other friends?
Yeah, I'm going to go. Hey, I think I found something. Beaumont warehouse. Come quick.
Oh, of course.
So
Second
as you are
floor and-
all,
You just kind of hear like a
Stealth.
squawk sound.
yeah, here you are there as well. So if you want to either turn back into your regular form and roll a stealth check, or stay in bird form, it's
Yeah,
up to you.
I'll like flap down towards the door and transform back and roll a stealth check.
Okay, give me a
Okay.
stealth check.
Is Path Without a Trace a once used daily?
Pass Without a Trace is Ellen's is once used daily, but I think it has a certain it's concentration for an hour.
Oh,
So she still has it up, and as long as you're within 30 feet of her, you have the bonus. Of
Hey.
Has it
Damn.
really been? Has it really been not been a whole hour yet?
No, it's been
No.
like 10 minutes,
Rolling wild.
10 or 20
Okay.
minutes.
So with Pass Without a Trace, that's a 24.
Okay.
Thank God.
Oh, so that means Alan's is 38.
Yeah, it is.
I'm
Oh.
stealthier than. Oh, never mind.
Never mind.
Okay, I guess when has everyone arrived, or are we are we
I'm gonna
separated?
say that as you are all taking positions and just sort of getting a lay of the land, the remaining three of you show up. If you want to make your way toward the back and creep in.
Should I roll a stealth?
Yes, and I'm gonna say you get into the warehouse and all of you can get the advantage of Ellen's pass without trace, so
Okay,
give
so it
yourself a
just
plus
cancels.
10. Mm-hmm.
That's not bad.
That's a 15.
Wait,
What?
how does it? What does pass other trace do? It just gives you plus 10.
Plus
Plus
10.
10.
Does it give advantage?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Enhanced ability gives advantage.
Oh, that's right.
Did Verna do a stealth check? Is Verna stealthing?
Verna does what Verna wants.
Well, you get a plus 10 to whatever you roll, so keep that in mind.
Pass without a trace is so good, y'all.
Yeah, it is.
It's a shame that none
Can't
of us
believe you
can
went
use
2
it
years
naturally.
without it.
I mean, none of us can use it. It's not something that any of us can use normally.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
really
Oh,
good.
shit. Verna's very dexterous. In case you all have never realized this.
Well, we haven't seen her do as much stuff because she's got a lot of
Damn,
paperwork.
Verna.
You rolled a natural 19. I mean, so you got a 32. You're the second most stealthy person here.
Holy
This
shit.
is ridiculous.
Verna just fades into the night.
She's been practicing.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you're all making your way quietly into this warehouse, you see this silhouette up in the viewing chamber pacing back and forth, and then he seems to stop
Of course
and
he does.
toward the open door that is pouring daylight in from outside.
Can't make the door roll a stealth check.
No,
can
you
we?
can't.
Can't make the daylight roll a stealth check.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna move into the shadows though. I'm not standing in the doorway.
You hear a voice speak out through the warehouse, and he says, "Ah, welcome.
Oh.
It appears I have some guests. Welcome to my performance. I hope you are who I was expecting." And he's silent.
Sparrow, yeah.
Borrow.
Sparrow.
The Stromboli place.
Pizza man.
Listen up here, Pizza Man.
What are you doing out of Gimlet Dark?
God forgive me.
Verna stabs Fabiano in the head, and then she just, I do this.
Sissel's going to turn herself invisible for now.
Okay. Okay. As you're all making your way into your positions, Verna shouts out into the darkness. And you see the silhouette stop and look in the direction of Verna, who is, I don't know if you walked out into the open or if you are still kind of hiding behind anything, but nonetheless, he looks in your direction and he says, "Well, I don't know where your friends are, but I see you, and I see the other loud one." And he looks toward Mido.
Poor Mida.
Shit.
Clank, clunk.
Shit. I go and stand next
Good
to
cop,
Verna,
bad
so I'm
cop.
also. I'm
So
standing next
welcome.
to Verna, so I'm also in the sun, by the way.
Welcome, famous heroes of the city. I've been watching you for some time. Most perfect subjects. Let's see what you're really made of.
This dude's such a dork.
The silhouette stretches his arms out as if in a welcoming gesture toward all of you. Or at least the ones he can see.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something
I'm
more.
waiting for Patrick to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like, what is there like something I could be? I'm like hiding behind, or like?
There's some steel girders that you can kind of hide behind. There's also these big makeshift rooms similar to what you saw in the the other trap.
Verna's so badass.
I look at Vern, I'm like, yeah, what she said.
Punk.
Punk.
We shall see. But first, before you is a choice. Your loved ones, those you care about, their lives are in danger. What will you do? A bulb flashes on one of the rooms to your left, and through the glass you can see Moira, strapped to a wooden chair, her arms and legs restrained, her head held still by a vice, and in front of Moira's face is a spring-loaded contraption adorned with half a dozen daggers, and all the daggers are pointed at her mere inches from her unprotected face. A light goes on to your right, and in the single room on the right-hand side, you see Dr. Walden strapped into a similar
Oh,
Ah,
device.
shit!
shit.
You didn't think about Walden.
Finally,
Walden,
the
you're like
third-
level 12. Come on, man.
Finally,
Sorry,
the
go
third
ahead.
room illuminates, and you see your cook, Hulk,
No.
sweat pouring down his face as he tries to close his eyes and forget about the blades pointed directly at them. And the voice speaks once more.
Oh my God, Verna.
You may choose one. As soon as one of these doors opens, as soon as you find your way into one of these rooms by magical means or otherwise, the other two traps will spring, ending your companions' lives. There is no trick here, no puzzle that you can solve to save them all. You, who hold the power of life and death in your hands on an almost daily basis, you must choose. The clock is ticking. A display illuminates just underneath the viewing chamber, showing 15 minutes. It begins counting down.
That answers the Verna's question of what if I choose none. Oh boy. Okay.
Shit.
Shit. I mean, it's dark in here, but I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna drift up by the window, still invisible, and just kind
Still
of
invisible. Still stealthed.
still stealthed.
Okay.
I'm gonna just kind of drift just to where I can see.
As you begin getting close, you get within maybe 30 feet of the viewing chamber. You see something out of the corner of your eye from the darkness. You gaze over, and you see emerging from the darkness a form that begins to shift and coalesce, and you find yourself staring face to face with the burned man.
What?
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay. That's a natural one.
You
Oh.
take 20 points of psychic damage, and the form of the burned man disappears.
So like, where was she? Where is she looking? Like,
She was hovering up toward the viewing chamber.
where we assume Saviano is?
Yes.
Some kind of like trippy magic that's fucking people up if they go
Alright.
near it.
Last time finds a psychic damage. Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna grit my teeth through that, and do I still see the burning man?
No, it's gone.
Okay. Well, shit. I'm gonna try again.
Okay. As you begin making your way close once more, you see a form emerging this time on your right-hand side. It forms into an image of Moira, bleeding and broken, her eyes black. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, that's better. What is that total? It's a 15 plus 2, 17.
You take 20 points of psychic damage, and the vision of Mara fades.
Okay. Wait, shit, wouldn't that fuck up my invisibility as concentration?
Yeah, it would. So you're gonna need to make two DC 10 Constitution saving throws for both of those.
Okay. Well, the first one is... Well, the first one I rolled a 14, so
You're
that's
fine on
14
that
plus
one.
7. 12 plus 7 on the
You're
second.
fine. So you maintain concentration on the invisibility.
All
What are the rest of you doing in the meantime?
I'm figuring that out.
I'm trying to think.
I hope we get at least a little bit of time slow or time stop to
We'll
think
do a
about
little
these
time
things.
stop,
So,
but
like,
I am definitely keeping track of some time.
There's this like upper balcony observation area. Is it like is it like hard to see in there? Like what's the shadow?
Yeah, the
that's
window
happening?
is opaque, and you just see
Okay.
that the interior is illuminated, and you're seeing a silhouette walking back and forth.
Okay. What could you describe once more like these torture traps? What
Yeah,
they
let
look
me-
like? Are they tied down? Are they like
They look like
cemented
they are
anywhere?
just welded or cemented into the ground, and they look like they're not electric. They look like there's some sort of spring-loaded contraption that will just trigger.
Are the blades fastened into it?
Yeah, they are firmly attached to whatever this device is. They look like they are on a kind of like a hydraulic spring that's going to fly forward and impale the victim.
I'm going to whisper stealthily to my companions. Well, everyone, if we want to do
Yes.
anything about anything, we're going to have to do it all at the same time and with different rooms because I don't have anything to save everybody at once.
This is here at the ASMR.
I'm gonna drift down a little bit closer away from Hellsphere, and I'm just gonna go... I can't get close to the viewing room. There's some sort of magic field around it. I'm seeing things.
I hate this. I say that into the earring. I fucking hate this.
If we can...
I
So...
imagine getting close to him would not stop the trap.
No, but...
There
Yeah,
usually is some kind of switch to turn everything off, though. But if it's anywhere, it's up there.
Does it look like the traps are electrically powered, or are they hydraulic?
not.
Okay.
They don't look electrically powered, but you do see some sort of... They don't look like they have like an exterior power source like the last one did. But it does definitely look like there are wires that are going down to these rooms from that viewing chamber.
The trick is, if any of us teleport in there, we don't know what could happen, and also he would probably notice and could kill them all at once.
Yeah, but what else are we going to do? Unless there's a way to disable them all at once. I think it's in that room, and I can't even see into it.
Well, if I go in there, I'll only be able to take one other person.
You don't think you could dispel the field? Well, he might know this.
Does it? It doesn't really... I wouldn't know. I haven't seen it, right? If it's like spell-based, based on what...
Yeah, you haven't
Missiles?
seen it.
Yeah. Did it feel spell-based to me, or would I be
Make
able
an
to tell?
Arcana check.
Okay. I'm good at those. Okay, that is a... Arcana check. That's a 13 plus 7, so that's a 20.
It seems like some illusion magic that is affecting your fear centers.
It's some sort of fear field. It's some sort of illusion. But
How
it's
can an illusion do psychic damage?
not pleasant.
There's actually a lot of illusion spells that can cause psychic damage.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can try to dispel it.
Maybe if we can distract him by, I don't know, something, maybe he won't notice the dispel.
I could try.
Can
Talking.
Verna or Maito keep talking to him?
So I clear my throat. I shout out, "Why are you doing this?"
The silhouette stops and looks down toward you again and says, "It is part of my great achievement."
Being a dick?
To show how strong the bonds are that bind us all.
Okay, whenever he is like at the peak that I can notice of his villain pontificating, I want to like very subtly cast Dispel Magic just at level 3, just to see what happens.
Okay. Hold on.
You die instantly.
I die instantly, okay.
I'm just looking something up. Okay, so he's going to continue talking to you, Milo. He says, "Whether our own self-preservation is more important than those we care about, whether those we care about, whether we prioritize others over ourselves and over certain people that we care about. The surrogate mother, the old man who provides a benefit to your adventuring, the dim-witted halfling.
Oh.
Who do you truly care for?"
Why don't you just take me instead?
There would be no joy in that. The joy is in making heroes of the city choose who they truly love. He looks down toward you, Verna. "Well, if you feel that way, then by all means open the door. Rescue your friend, Dr. Walden." And at that point, Wraith, you can cast a spell action. I'm going to need you to make
Yeah, a roll.
a roll.
What I'm looking at, Dispel Magic. Okay, so it's the D. Do I add anything to this? Is this
You
like.
add your spellcasting ability modifier. So that would be your charisma mod.
Right. Ooh. Hot rolls tonight, fellas. 23.
Oh.
Wow. Well,
Nice.
whatever
Rolled a
level it
natural
is,
18.
whatever level it might be, that's easy enough to beat anything.
Yeah.
You don't see anything, but it does feel
Kind
like
of
you're,
feel like it
yeah,
did,
it connects
yeah.
with something. The image, the silhouette that you see up above, also flickers a little bit.
I will whisper into the earring again. Cecil, I dispelled something. You might want to check.
I'm going to once again ease up to the window very carefully. Also, did I see it flicker?
Yes.
Okay. Gonna keep that in mind. I'm just gonna ease up to the window and see if I
Okay.
can't.
You get into range that you did before, nothing happens.
Alright. Can I see anything through the window? Any sort of...
It is completely opaque.
Okay. Does it look... I'm gonna kind of like just feel around the viewing area. Does it look like there's any sort of door or something?
There is a door along the side, next to
Okay.
a little balcony.
Okay.
Whatever do you mean, officer? I am quite here. I am right here watching all of you struggle to make a decision.
I'm going...
Can I have Alan do something?
Yeah.
Can I have her pull out the window and look
The
through
Walden
this
window?
viewing room? Yeah.
Sure. I'm gonna say that she was down on the ground
Oh, I thought she was with
So
Sissel.
no, Sissel kind of
Okay.
floated up by herself. Sissel, why don't you handle what you're gonna do first before we get to Ellen?
Like if
Verna, what are
anybody.
you?
I'm trying to eat an ear of corn.
Sorry,
over
I'm
here,
trying to
Cat.
juggle a lot of things at once. Sissel, what are you doing?
One thing at a time.
Unless someone calls me down to Ellen, I'm going to I'm suspicious about that flicker, and I don't know where Arya is. I'm going to human vision, but I'm gonna kind of take a look around using the daylight from the door as best I can and see if I can't see anything interesting.
What do you mean?
Um,
You're looking across the warehouse, or
so my thought process. He can definitely see us somehow, some way. He is I don't think he's in that viewing room. I think he might be somewhere else within the warehouse.
okay, sure. Give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay. This isn't gonna be great.
Yeah, you don't have any light.
Ugh, natural one.
Mm,
Oh.
as you're looking around, all you can really see are those companions who have stepped out and aren't in hiding. The 3 rooms where your friends are, and the viewing chamber next to you.
Okay. Just gonna go back down and go, hey, I got the feeling he's not in that room. He might be somewhere
what
else.
Those wires still go up to that.
It's true.
I think it's worth getting it.
What?
It didn't
Sorry,
come
I'm
through.
eating corn. I didn't want to like crunch loudly, so I said I still think it's worth getting up in there. He was obviously trying to stop us from
The clock
looking
is
in.
ticking, heroes. 5 minutes.
Whatever. All right.
Can we send Ellen up there?
If you want to.
So,
Tom, make a roll if you want Ellen to
is
do
it
it.
possible for Ellen to get to the viewing room stealthily?
The door is closed, but yeah, she can get
No,
up
I mean,
there
but get up there
stealthily.
without being spotted. Like,
Well, there's a staircase that gets up there. She doesn't have her wings anymore, so she can't fly up there. But she certainly has a high stealth roll, and she could make her way up there. Although if she leaves your vicinity, you will no longer get the bonus from her stealth.
all right.
Do you have to roll again if you're standing still?
No, you just lose the bonus.
I mean, we gotta do something. Just give me the word and I can teleport up there.
What did he say that going into these rooms would trigger it?
Yeah.
Did he say anything about the
Yes.
viewing room? Did he say that going in there would also
no,
do
he
something?
didn't say anything.
I would like
Also,
Ellen to at
Verna-
least try and look inside.
Verna was trying to do something. Should we do that first before I figure this out?
Yeah, so Verna, it does seem like he can see you. It doesn't seem like he's lying. So he has eyes on you somewhere, you just don't know where.
I think
It is a simple doorknob. You turn the handle, the door will open. But you know, if you enter, it's going to trigger the trap. There doesn't seem to be any mechanisms on the door itself, but given some of the research that you guys did in the previous session, you know that there are likely sensors that are going to detect a shift in volume of the air pressure in the room, that as soon as you enter by any means, it's going to know that you're in there.
Man, this sucks. This just sucks. Like, I have nothing I can do. Like, I'm short of just going into a room physically. I have no tricks. I don't know what to do.
If we choose one of them, I can save. Well,
You can what?
wait, I had another dumb plan.
I think we should maybe try to
Revolt
have
on
Ellen, if you think Ellen would do that, go up and...
Clock is ticking.
Hold on, I
Oh,
gotta
fuck
look up
off,
the fucking...
Saviano.
You see that the timer is ticking down. You have about 3 minutes left.
Oh, fuck. Let me
So,
just give
this... What? I could only do it to one.
me the Walden window. I can use it.
Ellen passes it to you.
Alright, I'm gonna go up the back.
Verna, you know nothing about Saviano. As far as you're concerned, he doesn't have a family.
I'm gonna go back up and use it to look in the viewing room.
You sneak up once more and put the Walden window against the frame and peer within. You see a simple control room that has a very big, obvious lever. You see a shadow that appears to just be almost like an animated shadow that is moving back and forth. There's no one in there. It's just a silhouette.
Was there anything with the wires and whatnot?
They appear to be attached to this control panel on which there is a big lever that you can pull.
Somebody else do a quick search around the area and see if you can find anything. I'm otherwise going to try and make it into this room.
Can I have... Well, I guess Alan would probably be the one who would open the door, wouldn't she?
I can get in. I can just Misty step in.
Can you?
See, there's about 2 minutes left on the clock.
I'd say just do it. Either you will or I.
Okay.
Can I have Alan do an investigation check around the room to see if she sees anything?
Yeah, give me
Like
an investigation check.
any doors, seams, anything that's looks like a weakness. I don't know, an exploitable anything. Just
Okay, give me an investigation check.
or I guess I should do the thing.
Holy shit.
Ellen does a quick glance around the room with her elf eyes. She does not see anyone else in the room other than you guys and the 3 victims.
Okay. Last chance, I'm doing it.
If something bad.
Verna.
What were you saying here? Oh.
If something goes wrong, if we pick one, I'll be able to save one other person.
Well, one or the other.
I couldn't sleep to reset pick prepared spells, so I have nothing.
What's the timer?
The timer is about a minute.
I'm gonna Misty step under the door.
So you're within the room now. You pass right through the silhouette. It is incorporeal.
Yep.
Pull the lever, Kronk!
I'm gonna pull the lever. It's the only lever in the room, right?
It's gonna. Sorry.
Yeah, it's the only lever in the room.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't think so either, but unless you have any other options.
I mean, from what we know, I don't think
We
there are
really
any
don't.
others.
Like this is bad. Like I don't think we can do anything.
Somebody get ready to open one of the doors if it doesn't work.
Hey, Falk, did you see what Patrick put?
Yeah,
Okay.
it didn't work.
Is Saviano not responding to Verna? Is that happening? Or is he just ignoring her?
He's just ignoring her at this point.
What do I
Bullshit.
do? What do I do? What do you want me to do? I don't know what to do.
I want. How about who's on the ground right now? Looking into the cells.
Me.
Like I think everyone except Sissel.
Give me insight checks.
Should I roll one for Ellen as well?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Said insight.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
I got a 23.
Do you want me to roll if I'm up
23?
there or no?
You're up there.
Yeah, okay.
So you wouldn't see anything. 23, 15. Give me Ellen.
Ellen's. I rolled it. It's up there. 21.
21.
Sorry.
Okay. Goff, you're panicking a little bit. You're feeling like the time is running out. The clock is ticking down. It's under a minute now. As you're gazing, you see Walden and Moira struggling against their bonds, trying to free themselves. You look at Holg. He is not struggling.
Do I get any indication of like his like?
He seems calm.
That's not what I would anticipate. Out of the three streak people, he was not the person I expect to be calm in this situation.
Hmm.
Do I glean anything else from
Will
that?
you
Give me an
communicate
investigation
this,
check.
Goff?
What did you
You
say?
No,
communicate this with everybody?
I think I'm imagining this moment where he's looking at Hulk. It's probably happening in like a couple seconds in his mind. I don't think it. Like, so, what was it? Investigation.
Yeah.
15.
Holg's bonds don't seem as secure as the others.
Okay. I raise my eyebrow, and which door am I guess I don't know what. I guess am I closest to Moira's?
Yeah.
Can I be that? And I'm gonna say into the earring, Wraith, go for Walden. I'm opening Moira's door. Taking a gamble on Holg. Don't ask why. We'll just go.
Okay.
Okay.
As soon as he opens Moira's door, I'm going to cast polymorph on Walden. I'm going to turn him into a little mouse.
Okay.
In the chair.
You just need sight on that, right? You don't need to.
Yeah, I
have-
believe it's sight. Let me check.
You don't. It doesn't matter that there's
That you
like
can
a long
see
way.
within range.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're fine.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say, I have no other thoughts about how to do this. I'm going on an instinct choice. If it goes wrong, I am deeply sorry. And I'm gonna stand near Moira's door, and when looking at Haraith,
Okay,
and
so
then,
Wraith, you ready the spell, and you look back at Goff, and you're readying to polymorph Walden just as Goff, you open the door. As you open the door, you rush to Moira's side. Hiraeth, you unleash the spell. Walden, with a squeak, plops down into a little mouse in his chair. The spring-loaded contraption goes off, and all of the daggers thrust forward, missing him because he is now no longer there.
He's a little mouse.
That's really smart.
And Goff, you rush to Moira's side. You very rapidly free her from the straps and get her away from that horrible device.
If possible, I would like to open the door into Walden's room. So
Okay.
if he's a little mouse, he can try and scurry out.
All right. So you open the door, and you see Walden kind of scurry down onto the ground, and scurry out.
I help Moira out of the chair and quickly get her out of the room, and I look over to Holg's room.
He is still strapped to the chair. The device has not gone off.
I'm at this point, like the moment they do a thing, I'm just gonna fucking body check the door and rush out of the room.
Okay.
Looking at Holg's room and the fact that it hasn't gone off, do I see anything weird about that? Like, is it an illusion or what? Like,
No. The door
is he
is
still calm?
He's still calm. You see a small smile appearing on his lips.
What?
Yep.
Can he see me?
He's kind of gazing over to you with a sidelong glance, and you see him stand up from the chair totally unrestrained.
What?
Yep.
And he turns his gaze toward you, and he approaches the glass.
It's Saviano, isn't it?
Sure
Well done.
is.
Yep.
You're far more clever than most of my subjects. You know, you'd be surprised just how quickly they let their guard down when they see someone they know. And his form begins to swirl, the body warping like shifting clay, and now before you stands a perfect facsimile of Sissel. It is almost pathetic how easy it is
Gah.
to capture even the most powerful of adventurers by just showing a kind face. And the form shifts once more, growing in height, and now you are staring, Goff, at your own half-giant form. Too easy, really. But in this world, one cannot even trust the truth of your eyes. Ah, But where are my manners? The form shifts back to a modest height, and you find yourself staring at a pale creature with chalk-white skin,
Oh
sunken
fuck.
black eyes, and wispy green hair that reaches his shoulders, and a flat face that shows no sign of a nose. I
It's
am
He's a
Merchant
Voldemort?
changeling.
Voldemort.
He's a fucking changeling.
Ah.
That's him.
I am Marjorie Saviano.
Ah.
It is a pleasure to finally meet.
Oh. Can True Sight see what a changeling usually looks like?
Yeah, if they...
I was just wondering. I didn't
Yeah.
use it, but
Yeah.
it would be funny if you just walk in and you're like, "Who the fuck is that?"
Sissel's going to just fucking charge the room. Nice to meet you too, and drops a dome of force on him.
A dome of... Oh, you're trapping him?
Yep.
He grins as he kind of looks all around his room, and he says, well, you've won, but I do have a bit of an insurance policy.
Oh.
And he grins at you knowingly.
Where's Arya?
That is my insurance policy. I'm going to leave, and you're going to let me. If I walk out that door unharmed, you will see her within 10 hours. If I do not, there is no one who can save her from her fate.
Or we could just make you tell the truth.
You'll
Like-
be surprised to find how resilient I am.
I look at Goff.
Resilient. You want to talk to me about resilience?
It is your
You
choice.
little worm. Spineless.
I'm going to open the door to his room, and I'm just going to stare him down, and... I know, right? Do we have Zone of Truth right now?
Probably not. Let me check.
Oh.
As Harith, as you drop the polymorph, Walden appears
No.
sitting on the ground before you. He's like, oh, by Ogma's silver strings.
It wasn't the most elegant way, but it was the only way I could think to save you.
Oh, I'm bloody glad of it.
So we have Savio trapped in the dome right now.
Yep.
Mhm.
He's trapped in a 10 foot long dome of force. He cannot get out currently.
How long was Savio in jail?
He was captured about 4 years ago.
I'm gonna start pacing around the circle of the dome.
He is completely calm. He's got his hands clasped behind his back. He's just sort of tracking you with his eyes.
What makes you think that you are so resilient? What makes you think that you go against the flow?
He just smiles at you and doesn't say a word. I've made my compromise. You want to see the girl alive.
What got you doing this in the first place?
He doesn't respond.
Really? You're going to be this boring? Listen, I'm just a curious soul. I'd like to know a little more about you, since you seem to have magic now and have been using it in interesting ways.
I have made my compromise.
You sure have. And
Choose.
I have heard it.
If you decide to take me in, I won't struggle. I have accomplished what I set out to do. But the girl will die. You will not find her. Or you will find pieces of her, eventually.
I'm like looking through I'm trying to see if I have shit that would help with this.
Goff is still just pacing around the circle, just looking at this guy.
So, since you've completed your magnum opus, what's the point in... How can we trust you? How can we say that you'll keep your word?
You don't.
That's true.
We can't. He's a snake. He will deceive us at every turn.
Yeah.
I have a question. Wait, let's finish reading how this.
Arya's the girl we saved.
Yeah, she's the 13-year-old girl that
we just managed to like work out a situation where we would take care of her and like teach her stuff, and then this happens.
Does modify
Like, same-
memory let you know everything that has happened to this person in the last 24 hours? It has to be like what you know.
Yeah. You replace a memory with their own, or your own, that you create. But you would have to know what the memory is
Yeah.
that you're replacing.
Okay,
What?
oh, never mind. I was just. I don't know if I could make it work.
You mean the girl. She is safe for now. What are the rest of you doing in the meantime?
I'm just staring him down and thinking.
I'm resisting the urge to just draw my sword and, like, stab
Okay.
the shit out of him.
I'm reading the description of modify memory.
Okay.
It is. The target is charmed for the duration.
Okay.
It says that this is a list of things you can do with it. You can 1. Permanently eliminate all memory of the event. 2. Allow the target to recall the event with perfect clarity and exacting detail. 3. Change its memory of the events. Or 4. Create a memory of some
You need
other
to know what the
event.
event is, though.
It could have been him putting her somewhere.
Right, but you
And
would
if I
still...
if I force him to recall the event with perfect clarity,
He
it
wouldn't
might.
speak it, necessarily. He would just recall
This
it.
is. Wouldn't recall mean he says it?
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
It would be like if he forgot it.
Yeah. It's
I-
basically like an eidetic memory kind of thing, like a photographic memory sort of recall.
Okay.
Say we let you go. What comes after this, now that you've accomplished what you've set out for, your magnum opus?
Well, I'd say the beaches of Alcalad sound nice this time of year. Maybe I'll start again. On another continent.
Hell you will.
He simply waits quietly and patiently, waiting for you to make your decision.
Oh yeah, Verna was saying something.
Verna, he looks directly at you and he says, "You act as if I care anything for my victims." They're simply art.
Let me ask you something. You think yourself an artist?
He doesn't respond to you.
You think yourself a creative, making a message to send? Perfecting your social game? How many people do you think got your message? Who do you think appreciates the point you're trying to make? Who do you think is even aware that you're trying to make it?
I know you're trying to goad me, cleric. It will not work. I have made my terms. You can either choose to accept them or reject them.
Okay. Hiraeth, you can make people forget things, right?
Yes.
Okay. Please forgive me if
You
I'm
have
about to...
spent-
Oh,
Sorry. You have spent all of this time capturing so many different people and making a point, trying to make a point of selfishness and love and those we care for and the torture of choice. And how many people remember you for your outstanding magnum opus? How many will recall you as a great artist, a visionary, to make a point of the human condition, of exploiting the negative and the darkness within, and testing the resolve? Who will remember that?
Why, the whole
No.
city, of course. You didn't think that you were here by yourselves, did you? You didn't think that you weren't being recorded.
no, we're pretty aware of that. And I'll tell you what. I'm going to drop the dome, and I'm going to summon my crows. Necrotic
Okay.
damage.
Okay.
I'm going to give him a disadvantage on wisdom saving throws, and I'm going to go...
Okay.
What you are, Saviano, is a fly in a spider's web. You have picked on the wrong people, and now you're going to pay for it. And, you know, we're merciful people. And I'm going to, because it's the only version of the spell I have, cast
Yeah, I
Mass
figured.
Suggestion, and I'm going to say, you're going to tell me where Arya is and how to get her out, and I'm going to leave you alive.
What's the DC?
The DC is 19 with disadvantage.
With disadvantage. Oh boy, I'm not going to be able to do this. Alright, let me roll 2 dice here. Oh, that fell on the table. So with disadvantage, that is a total of 10. So that's a failure.
Mm-hmm.
And you see his eyes kind of, his sunken eyes glaze over.
Patrick, that might be me, my keyboard.
She is 2 blocks away in another warehouse. She is strapped to a number of bombs. Only I can disarm them.
How long does Mass Suggestion last?
24 hours, I think.
Yep.
Or until it's completed. So you told him. So he told you exactly what the
Okay.
conditions were, so it's over.
Okay. Only it.
And he sort of shakes his head for a moment, and he says, "Oh, you're clever.
Seems like your terms are about to change.
Assuming you can get me to disarm the trap."
I pull out my sword.
Nah, we can do better than that. Come here. Let's make our way down, shall we?
Does
Matt's suggestion ended because the terms of the suggestion was just you're gonna tell us where Arya is and how to free her,
Yeah.
and so that was over. So he does not under any compulsion do anything more that you say.
No. But We can manhandle him.
That's what I was trying to do!
Let Mido use her muscles.
All right, Maida, what do you wish to do?
I'm gonna manhandle him.
I roll to manhandle?
All right,
I don't know.
give me a strength check. Actually, he doesn't resist. He said he wasn't going to resist.
Okay, well, I twist his arm like really fucking hard.
Okay. He kind of grunts a little bit, but he smiles nonetheless. Let's see if we can get there without causing too much of a commotion in the streets.
We've got an officer of the law here. I think we'll be fine.
But are people going to take kindly to you harassing another officer of the law? And he shifts his form into Detective Bowles.
Should I knock him out? I asked the party.
We'll need him later, but
We can wake him up.
yeah.
Okay. Is that cool with y'all?
I don't have any objection.
I'm tired of his voice.
Make it
Okay,
him.
I want to hit him on the back of the head with my hilt
All
of
right,
my sword.
give me an attack roll.
Okay. Don't fail me now. Since it's the rapier, should I use the hitting him with the hilt?
Yeah, just use the regular attack bonus for the rapier. You just cold cock him on the back of the head and he's out cold. He is still in Detective Bowles' form.
Really? That wouldn't have.
No.
I'm just gonna slap invisibility on him for now.
That's so good.
Before Sissel does that, I'm gonna tie up his arms and legs.
Okay.
For some reason, Goff the cleric is the one who's always fucking tying people up to make sure they don't do shit.
Alright, and I'll
Okay.
carry him.
Okay.
Are Moira and Walden still with us?
Yeah, they're still with you. Moira immediately, after this whole thing is concluded, she rushes up to you, Sissel, and just gives you a big hug.
Yeah, I'm gonna hug her.
Walden is just sort of standing there, and she says, I thought that Villa had betrayed me.
Walden! And I give him a pat on the back, like a really hard one.
Thank you, my Terania. Well, certainly worked out a kink in my back, but let's get out of this dreary environment.
I am sorry that you got caught up in this.
This one seemed to be watching you all.
We seem to get caught up in the worst with the worst people, no matter how hard we try not to.
Well, let's wrap this up and see this one put away again. If you don't mind, I'll probably come back here at some point and reclaim some of these devices.
Be my guest.
Always be
If you wish to stay with us, you may. We are going to get Arya.
We're going.
alive. I owe you my life, so.
How are you both feeling? Are you well enough to walk to carry yourselves? Are you weak?
Mora kind of says, a little lightheaded. He used some sort of gas.
Medicine check on them both.
Yeah, give me a medicine check.
I mean, do they look similar to Mama and?
Yeah, they look a little groggy, a little out of it.
21.
Yeah, they look a little groggy, a little out
They don't look bad otherwise.
No.
Yeah.
It's like when you get the gas for getting your wisdom teeth
Yeah.
out, and then you kind of wake up and you're all groggy.
You both look okay. I would prefer if at least one or two of us escorted you back to your places at this time. For this time, I suppose that we have the man in question, but till he is taken care of, I don't know. Did you see anyone else working for him, or does he seem to be working alone?
Well, it seemed to be only him. He was very careful about only approaching one person at a time. He approached me in the form of Villa and sort of ambushed me while we were heading to lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Was not expecting it. And Murray says, yes, Sissel, he appeared as you, and he took me down first, and Arya had a panic attack, and She couldn't do anything. She just sort of shut down.
He still has
Did
her.
You're going to get her out.
Hasn't this all basically been in the same day?
Yes.
Yeah.
This poor girl!
I know!
All right. Let us get to this building.
He said that's 2 blocks away, so one of the warehouses.
So you quietly make your way out of this death trap, the group of you all making your way back out onto the streets, the invisible and unconscious Saviano over Mito's shoulder. You make your way a couple of blocks. He didn't indicate what direction. Which way do you want to go?
I mean, I'm gonna get back on the broom and get a bird's eye view and see if, like, which warehouses are 2 blocks away.
This whole place is just a line of warehouses.
God damn it.
Is it in like all directions, or is it only how many directions could there be? How many
It's
blocks?
north and south.
Okay.
I guess we should split up.
How many charges left on the wall and a window? 2 or 3?
I
One.
think, yeah.
1. How many does it have total?
3.
That was 5. Okay.
Actually, I don't remember. I'll have to look it up.
I might have it written down in my notes.
I think it's 3.
For some reason I don't. I don't think. I guess I didn't write down that item.
Because I think Mel had it.
Well, I usually write down everything everyone has for the sake of keeping track of who's got what and what we have total. But
Portable looking glass. I was wrong. It is 5 times a day.
Ooh.
so how many uses does it have?
It has 3 left.
Okay. Okay, just in case Ellen wants to use it.
Okay.
To look into
So,
a building.
what are you all doing?
Ellen, why don't you go with Cecil and peer into a building that's 2 blocks in that direction? I'll point, I don't know, north.
Okay.
And we'll make our way in this direction.
Very well. And Ellen joins you, Cecil.
Okay.
Okay. So you two head north. The rest of you, what are you doing?
I mean, I'm holding,
You're
carrying the
holding-
dude.
Yeah, you're carrying the
If
dude.
they're going to go north, I'll just go. I suppose the rest of the group goes south.
Verna Walden looks at you and says, I'm afraid not. I left all of that in the workshop. I don't carry it around with me.
Well, we can examine the situation first, and then we'll figure it out from there. I have a thought.
Right. Ellen and Cecil, make your way about 2 blocks north. You are standing at a cross section that is between the docks and one of the main roads that leads into the trade district. You see a warehouse on either side of this road.
I guess we'll check the left one.
So Ellen pulls out the portable Walden window and she places it on the side, and she looks within and just sees stacks upon stacks of boxes, crates.
And if there aren't any other parts that like are blocked off, she can look to, or she sees the whole warehouse.
Not really. She could try to get a higher angle if she wants to go to like a second floor and try to peer within.
Or like the ceiling or
Yeah.
something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me an act. Well, we'll say that Ellen
mean,
goes
she's
around the
like-
side, finds like a fire escape.
Could she use the
And-
broom?
She could use the room too if Cecily, you want to loan
Yeah.
it to her. Okay, so, or you can come with her. Either case, the two of you can make your way up to the rooftop, and Ellen can use the Walden window once again as she peers below, scanning the.
Is it the same
height.
use or another use?
It's the same use.
Oh, okay.
She peers below from a bird's eye view of this warehouse, looking all over uh, this maze of boxes. Her vision focuses in on uh, one figure that is sitting in a chair, kind of surrounded by a bunch of these boxes, and you see Arya.
Is she in
Fuck.
a room with a door, or is it just like
No,
out in the
it
open?
is. It is just. This is a big warehouse, big open floor, filled with stacks upon stacks of crates, and she is basically hidden within this maze of crates.
And Sissel will get the good guess again. Once again,
And
finding.
she's sitting in a chair. She's shivering. She seems to have some sort of devices strapped to her.
Those must be the
body.
bombs.
I guess Ellen would. I mean, Sissel can see the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Ellen would look at Sissel and then, I guess, say into the earring, like, oh, we found her. She's here. And she, like, if we're close enough to hear it,
Yeah, you're still within 1,000 feet.
okay. I guess so. She would say that, and then everyone else would hear that. So I guess the building that they went to, the two blocks north of where we were.
Mhm.
So I guess Goff will just be like, will nod and be like, oh, let's turn around and go that way.
So you'll head and you'll reconvene together.
Yeah.
Okay. Cecil and Alan, while you wait for your companions to get here, is there anything else you wish to do while you're up on the roof?
Check. I guess Alan would probably like go to any of the doors and check for traps.
Okay. Okay. There are a number of tripwires across some of the ground floor entrances. There are some small explosives that are also strapped to the skylight that is locked.
Oh, okay. Is there anything that she can disarm from outside?
Um, it looks like the way that they're constructed, the doors push inward, and if you push them inward, they're going to trigger the tripwire.
So it's out of Alan's hands.
Unless you very carefully open it and try to shimmy your way through the door jam. It's going to be a very difficult squeeze.
Alan will respond to Verna, and say, she appears to be fine. But it is well protected. You have to be careful. So, okay. Did it seem like there were any sensors in that building?
No.
Like volume detection, that shit?
Nope.
So Ellen's looking at it and she figures that she can possibly disarm them with probably some really tight checks.
Mm-hmm.
What would that entail? Like a
first, it would
acrobatics?
be an acrobatics check to shimmy through the door, followed by a disarm trap.
Are we all together now, or are we still separated?
Yeah, I can say you're all together. So you've all reconvened around one side of where one of the doors is.
It's not often we find a door that's hard for you to open, Ellen.
So there's a bomb on the inside.
There's
And
multiple.
we didn't see any sensors.
No, there are no sensors.
So
I can teleport in there with
how are you doing on spell points? Are you okay?
I'm getting kind of low, but I can do it.
Well,
Who'd be
bring
able to
Ellen in
disarm
there.
that sort of thing? Ellen knows how to work with bombs.
does she?
Yeah, it's a trap.
Yeah.
She could do it.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, I'll take Ellen by the arm and I'll dimension Doris right to the other side of the door.
Okay, so you poof onto the other side of the door. Now you are staring down at the tripwire that is attached to a series of bombs that are strapped to the side of the door frame.
Would I be able to misty step through the cracks without setting
If
off
you
any
have
tripwire?
vision, yes. If you
Oh.
can,
Can
if you have line of sight.
now that Ellen's inside, can she disable the trap?
Yes. Give me a thieves' tools check.
Do I have a line of sight?
Are you opening the door? Because I figured that Hiraeth and Ellen just sort of warped through.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, it's so high. Ellen, Hiraeth and Ellen appear on the other side of this door, and as Hiraeth watches small beads of sweat pooling at her brow, Ellen gets to work with her thieves' tools and begins to very, very carefully cut the tripwire without losing the tension on the actual trap. She very carefully cuts it, and then while maintaining the tension, she moves it to the side and affixes the tripwire out of the way. The trap is disarmed. That was a really high skill check. Holy shit!
Jesus.
Oh.
If you had been 4 lower, she wouldn't have done it.
Oh god.
Jesus.
Whew.
Yikes!
Oh, that was even for all the time I've spent, that was a little more draining. Be careful with these. Yeah.
All right.
And then I guess Goff will very carefully make his way in as well.
Okay. All right. So you open the door and lead the rest of your group in. You are now in this maze of crates, very similar to that one time that you were chasing Hiraeth's doppelganger across.
Oh, gee, that's
It
It
right.
really takes you back,
Long
don't
time
it?
ago.
Simpler times.
Mm. I'm gonna tap the staff on the ground and cast light on it.
Okay. You illuminate your
Ellen,
surroundings.
Everyone take each step with the utmost caution. Look for anything that could trigger these. You want to handle this as delicately as possible. So I'm going to move very slowly, making sure I don't step on any pressure plates
Okay.
or...
Do you know where you're going?
I don't know, I'm just kind of taking a look around first.
Uh,
I guess like ask Ellen in what general direction she saw Arya sitting based on where we entered.
I will say if you have Ellen get or Sissel, because Sissel saw the same thing.
Or, yeah, either one.
Either of you can make I'm gonna say a straight intelligence check to see if you recall from your bird's eye view the pathway through the crates.
Okay.
Intelligence? I guess I can have Ellen roll
Where
that.
the fuck did my
Both of you
dice
can do
go? I dropped my dice. And now I
Oh.
don't know where it went. My ass.
Hmm.
Hold up. If not, I'm just gonna like fucking use roll 20, I guess. Okay. I'm just gonna use roll 20. I
Okay.
guess. So straight intelligence check.
Mhm.
Ugh.
Yikes. Okay. Ellen looks around. She says, I think this way might be the way. Sissel, if this looks familiar, just let me know.
Yeah, it's been a while.
She starts making her way cautiously through the maze of crates. You can hear in the distance the sound of Arya sobbing.
Oh. I guess we're
Um,
gonna make our way towards the sobbing as best we can.
Do I see anything else in the building that Ellen might or Sissel may not have mentioned or seen? Like with the light casting around the building, do I see anything on the walls? Anything?
Nope.
Okay.
It's just stacks upon stacks of crates.
Oh, great.
Very
Are there-
carefully.
Is there anything hanging from the ceiling?
Just a
Okay.
catwalk up there, that's about it. You very carefully make your way through this maze.
Oh, Sissel.
Hmm?
I don't mean to ask you to expend yourself, but do you have any more uses of your the wand? Once you
One
see
more.
magic.
I'm gonna wave
Do
a
you think it's
magic
now?
detection wand.
Do you think now is a good time?
Let's go. The time is
Do you
With
see
your
ending.
us?
magic detection wand, you do not see any magical
Just in
aura
case
anywhere.
there's something like that illusion magic around that you experienced earlier.
Mm-hmm. Nothing yet, so I'll keep you posted.
Quietly.
And just in case something goes awry, and I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna cast. Let me check the item really quick. Where is it? I'm gonna cast 3rd level Cure Wounds with my staff on Sissel.
Oh.
Just a little bit more of a cushion in case an explosion
Yep,
happens.
got a little bit of a raging headache.
Victor Warren appears in counter spells. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
Fuck you.
Okay, Sissel will regain 22 points of HP,
Well, that's fine by me.
and that was from the staff. I have 6 charges left.
Okay. All right. So, as you make your way quietly through this maze of crates, following the sound of Arya's sobbing, ultimately you come to the center of this maze, and you come across a small walled-in area, not Walden.
Oh.
It's his.
It's walled in on 3 sides. You see, there's a small way forward into it from where you're coming, and as you enter, you find kind of a 10 by 10 area where Arya is, and she is in the center of this. She is tied to a chair. As you look upon her, she is covered with across her chest with rows upon rows of what look to be bombs, and they're all wired together. And the wire is attached to some sort of dead man switch that is currently in her mouth.
What is a dead man switch?
Basically, if she removes pressure on it, it explodes.
This poor girl.
I'm reading something really quick.
Okay.
Is she awake? Can she see us?
Yeah, she's awake. She sees you. There's a sudden jolt of surprise and recognition, but she is chomped down really hard on this dead man switch. Likely been told if she lets go of it, she will explode.
Alright, it's going to be alright. I'm sorry that this man went after you. We did not know he would do this. But we'll worry about that later. For now, we're going to find a way to get you out of this. You've done well. Just
She
a little.
tears are streaming down her face, and she sort of nods to you in acknowledgement. She's trembling.
Now, looking around her feet, are there any other tripwires or things that could
No. No.
getting close to her would be bad?
No, you can get close to her. It just looks like she's wired to blow.
Now, all right. Well, I'll ask that question in a bit. Does anyone have any thoughts?
He said that only he would be able to disable it.
Slap him awake?
Wait. What if
I
we
don't
just healed
trust
him
him.
to full, and then just fuck with his memory a little bit, made him think that we just let him go?
I can only do 10 minutes.
10 minutes of
Yeah.
him being awake?
Can you make him think we let him go and we're standing here with him? Why would he let her go? It's a
It
complicated
would only be
situation.
10 minutes of memory, so I could, edit the very end. Make him think that we agreed, and then make him think that he came here. But, he might not. I can try it. We would probably have to hide.
Mm-hmm.
Are the crows still pecking at him?
No, I've dismissed them at this
They'd be
point.
following us outside in the street.
That would be,
I think they only last for a minute anyway.
yeah, they have since disappeared.
Caw.
I have a thought. There is a way. So she's affixed to the bombs all wrapped around her, and she's got the pressure thing in her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have anything that I can trick this with. These are not things that Eldath expects me to deal with, I suppose.
Wouldn't think so. I mean, I can hate them, but I can't. That probably won't help.
I just don't know if there's magic and available to me to do anything about this. There is something I could do, but be a bit inconvenient.
Stupid question. I carry around Smith's tools. Do I have a tong in there?
I'd say yes.
So I could, like, use the tool to apply pressure to at least take it out of her mouth so she could calm down. Does that seem... Do I feel moderately confident I could do that without
I don't know,
calming
do you?
down? I don't know.
Do you feel lucky, punk?
I don't know, I'm scared.
Well,
I guess it wouldn't be tongs, it would be more like pliers or something. Like something
Are
that
her-
you squeeze and it would apply pressure.
Yeah.
are her hands visible?
Yeah, they are bound and tied behind the chair.
Okay.
Her ankles or her feet are tied as well, also just to the legs of the chair.
Is it just the bombs that around her, or are there bombs like connecting to other parts of the
Just
boxes?
around her.
When you teleport or have some sort of magic that takes you somewhere else, would I know enough to know that it would take the bombs with her?
That's a good question. Does it take objects that are on your person? Are they technically
I mean,
considered
it
on
takes
your
clothing.
person?
It takes your clothing, but like
Yeah.
it.
If you're like tied to a chair, I think it might take the chair.
But would it take the explosives?
I don't know. If
You
they're
can
tied
bring
onto
along
you,
you can bring along objects as long as their weight doesn't exceed what you can carry. You can also bring one willing creature. You yourself, okay, you teleport. I don't know. Hold on. Let me look something up. Because I think you
Well,
did
I'm
stuff
not.
with
I'm not. I'm not using. I'm not going to be using teleportation, but I have a magic that I can do that will take us somewhere. I'm just wondering, if could it basically like remove her from the danger, or would it bring the danger with her? That's what I want to know. That's what I would.
I'm looking something
It's
up.
not teleport though. You know what it is. It's the only thing I could use that could take someone anywhere.
I believe teleportation magic has been used. Like I know that, for example, with Misty Step, you can get out of being bound if you teleport away. I imagine it's the same with any teleportation spell.
Would plane shift be counted in that?
Plane shift would count. Any sort of teleportation magic would count.
we don't necessarily have to. If we want to send her to another plane, I can banish.
Well, I didn't say anything yet.
Oh well.
I was asking the DM first before I did.
So, yeah, I would say your heroism, as you're standing within range, you can kind of, sort of, exude your paladin aura, and you see Arya trembling a little less, and she's shaking a little less.
Well, if we can't think of anything a little more quick, I can get us all someplace else, and I believe, my understanding, which will remove her from this situation. Whether we can or should bring this awful man with us is another question, but I could get her out of it. but that I don't know how much I want to spend a day in another plane.
I could banish her. You'd be back in a minute, but if we could get the bombs taken care of within a minute,
Couldn't we just move them?
I suppose we could, but we'd have to have pressure on that trigger.
Hmm.
Yeah, I had like, I don't even know how I can carry this around. I'll just fumble through these smith's tools that I just always carry around with me because they're in my inventory, and I'll get out like, trying to remember which, if blacksmith or armor uses pliers, but it's basically the same kind of thing. Like
Yeah,
it has the
it's
handle that,
armor.
yeah, it's like the handle that you can squeeze and it causes
Yeah.
pressure on something.
Uh-huh.
Are Moira and Walden right with us? Are
Yes. Yes.
they? Oh,
So,
okay.
as they're overhearing this, they're kind of saying, you have no other way of getting out of here than going to another plane.
For me, I don't. When it comes to this sort of thing, I'm limited. It is a recent ability that I've managed to understand, but it is the only thing that I can do. I'm sure that this is, I mean, Cecil and Wraith are capable of much more specific things, I think. It is only an option I am presenting. And I know of a safe place, relatively, that we can go.
If only I had my tools with me.
Now, if we're going to try and remove this, let me know before you do. And is Moira a high-level character?
At your level.
Okay. And anyone who might want to stand back a little bit, I'm going to cast something on Arya before you do anything that could set anything off. Just let me know.
When I cast banishment, do I have control over what plane they go to?
They go to a harmless pocket dimension unless they're
Oh,
not
okay.
native to the plane.
Right.
Uh-oh.
So she would be in a harmless pocket dimension.
Yeah.
But if she's staying here, I want to cast something on her before you do anything with the Switch.
Okay.
The Nintendo
Just
Switch.
give me a
Yeah, the
warning.
Nintendo Switch.
Don't suppose anybody has Mage Hand or Unseen Servant?
No,
I
I only
know.
know how to hit things.
I am not capable of that.
I wish I still had my Servant.
But I can give her insurance that she, if anything, if this sets off, she will survive.
Oh,
What?
I know what you're gonna do. That's
Me?
clever. Yeah. I think I know what you're gonna do.
Okay. I can ensure that she will live, even if she is hurt. If of course this switching of pressure does not follow through, we may take quite a bit of damage, but that is assuming we can withstand it.
Are you talking about the bombs? I don't want to get blown up.
I'm saying it as an insurance. If you're going to try to remove this thing from her mouth carefully while maintaining this whatever is needed to keep it from exploding, I'm saying that I can put something on her to keep her safe, in case it goes wrong. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you
I'm not counting on it.
might as well do it.
Are you planning? It only lasts for a minute. Are you going to work
My
quickly?
spell also, we need to discuss what we're going to do with these bombs when she's gone out of here.
Oh well, if you're
Because
going
it's
to
going to
remove her
happen
from here,
fast.
then I won't.
She's going to appear in exactly the same spot when she's back. So we need to move them.
Okay.
And at some point we're going to have to let go of the pressure on the switch and it's going to explode.
I could put up another dome and just let them explode the moment you banish
Unless
them.
somebody has an external way of holding the pliers, someone's going to have to be inside the dome.
I'll do it.
I really don't want to have to cast Raise Dead on you. It's a lot of bombs,
I'll be
Goff.
fine.
No, you
Are
Are you
won't.
sure? Let me do it.
The same plan that anyone can do it. I can protect you. I can protect myself.
Let me do it.
From bombs.
I'm just like staring at the bombs and like wondering if Goth is saying something different than I am.
I have a spell that if I cast it on someone, for the amount of time the spell is active, they cannot die.
Really?
I mean, let me double check the reading of the damn
Yeah,
spell.
yeah, I know. I know exactly what you're talking about, and yes, that's how it works.
What the fuck?
Let me double check.
It's a good spell. You guys have never used it.
I
It
don't
would've
know
been
what it
useful
Like
sometimes.
Living
is.
Dead.
Yeah, that
No,
sounds like
what?
Living Dead or Home
No,
Game.
it is kind of Living Dead, actually.
It's
Living
not. It
Dead
is. It is. But
adjacent.
it doesn't have the effect where if they aren't healed the full, they die. It's not a thing that happens.
Living Dead. Oh, it's Hollow Ground.
Trust me, if I could have
Yeah.
used this, I would have done the same for Maito. We were fighting Vila, or when we were fighting the Blackheart. But it happened in situations where I was incapable of getting to them, or it happened so quickly I could not have seen it coming. But it's something I can do. It will keep, as long as they are. Whoever potentially deals with this will survive.
Well, if you think we can do it,
If we have to have someone take the hit, I can protect them.
So it seems like the order of events here is you cast this upon yourself. You take the pliers and take the switch from her. I banish her somewhere where she can't get hurt. Sissel puts a dome on you, and then you are inside it and let the bombs explode, and you walk out. And then she appears and
Aye.
she's fine.
Me or Maito, whoever wishes to do it.
Well, whoever's crazy enough for that, I'm not going in there.
I'll do it.
This is like so quintessentially Mito. I can't die. Oh, don't worry, I can't die.
No,
She's just standing here. She can't do anything smart because she just hit things with swords and cast spells.
no. Normally, under other circumstances, I would take this upon myself because you know how I feel about putting you all in danger, despite the fact that I can't help it. But I
Well,
have
will
faith in my
say-
goddess, and she has given to me this ability, and I will have faith in it to keep whoever alive. You will be hurt, but I will fix that. I will bring you back to where you will bring you back to tip top as quickly as I can.
you're
Well.
right. If anybody's going to do this, it's probably best they're not you, so you can scoop them up if something goes wrong.
We just must have faith in our death as we always have, even if you are not a religious person, at least for this moment.
Well, are we ready to do this?
Aye.
Ready as we'll ever be.
I'll hand the pliers over to Maito. Just be sure that you keep a good grip on that.
Strongest grip in the. Which side is Arcadia, on the east or the west?
Kind of
North.
the north, yeah.
North.
The Wii.
What does the direction have to do with anything?
It
You
doesn't.
know, like strongest guns in the west.
Oh.
That sort of thing.
Okay, so, Maito, you've been handed these pliers. What are the rest of you doing?
I am gonna cast.
standing back,
Yeah.
but close enough that
I'm
I
gonna-
can cast stuff.
I'm gonna cast Death Ward on Maito.
Okay.
I'm gonna place my hand on the side of her neck and say, "You'll be fine. We've
You'll be
I can't die.
fine.
we've fought. We've dealt with worse together."
Okay. Maito, you now have these pliers. Arya is standing there in front of you, the dead man switch in her mouth. What are you doing?
Oh wait, am I in the orb yet?
We're going to cast the orb. Well, I guess we could cast it now.
If
And
you
you
cast
wanna
it now,
cast
you
it
can't
when
banish.
everyone is checked
Oh,
by name.
right. I need to be able to cast through it, so we'll have to cast the orb after she's gone. So,
Dang it, I'm waiting.
did
Okay.
you reach out? Okay.
Have you has she like removed it? Like is
How are you removing it? Because she's got a grip on it with her mouth, and you have to sort of like put these pliers in her mouth somehow and pull them out.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Oh.
a little dexterous requirement there.
Oh fuck.
Might have to roll.
Oh God.
Mido, if you are
No,
struggling
I
with,
got it.
oh,
Right before she does anything, I'm going to like trot up over to her and place my hand on her shoulder and give her enhanced ability for dexterity.
I'm gonna give her
Good
guidance.
idea.
Okay, Mido.
I'm gonna give her a D4.
I'm gonna
Okay.
try not to break her teeth, Verna, but I think she would rather have broken teeth than
Okay, Mido, I need you to give me a dexterity check. You have advantage, and you can add a D4 to it.
unskilled fuck.
Uh-huh.
Oh fuck.
Wow.
Roll a d4, huh?
Add a D4 to that.
Can I cast Death Ward on Arya?
You can. Okay, so it's a 10 total. Try as you might, you cannot seem to find the angle to get it into her mouth.
Okay. This isn't like explosion result. This is just
No. No,
Okay.
she's
I thought we were all
just-
gonna die.
No, this
Okay,
is-
is it
Good
possible
plan.
we have someone more dexterous do this, then hand it off to Maito? Let's go quickly. We only have a minute.
Ellen?
Well, I can do it.
Okay. Use the soft mom hands.
Okay, so
Arya,
she's gonna
push
need to make
the-
she's gonna make a dexterity check. I need Melanie to make a dexterity check to try to get it
Yeah.
into.
And I'm
her
just gonna
mouth.
say to Arya, just gently push the switch forward with your tongue if you can.
She nods and tries to keep her head as still
I'm
as
gonna use
possible.
guidance on Ellen.
Okay.
This is all happening pretty quick, I hope, because this Death Ward's
Yeah.
gonna run out.
Yep.
We're going-
It's-
Is Ellen gonna stand in there, or is Mido gonna be the one still standing there?
I thought
Okay,
that
okay.
she
They're
would
gonna
pass it
hand it
off.
off.
Okay.
Okay. So
Ellen's gonna roll her thing. It's just Dex. It's not like
Yeah.
Okay.
Oof.
Death Ward lasts for a long time.
It lasts for a minute, I think.
It lasts for 8 hours.
Ah.
Okay, never mind. We can take our time here.
Oh shit, my bad. I thought it was a minute.
No.
Banishment.
I've only ever used Death Ward once, and it never didn't matter in the
It
battle I
lasts
used it in.
8 hours, and Ellen very carefully maneuvers the pliers into position, clasping either side of the dead man switch in the right position so that when Mido applies pressure, she'll be able to take it right out of there. So at that point, Ellen motions to you, Mido, and Mido, you come in and you grab the pliers away from her. I need you to make a athletics check in order to maintain pressure as you carefully remove it from Aria's.
Jesus Christ.
You still have guidance, I think, because you haven't used it on the. You didn't use
Come
it
on,
in the previous
Mido,
one.
use your muscles.
This is nerve-wracking.
Athletics? Yes.
Athletics. This
Alright, alright,
Okay.
alright, alright.
Oh, my God.
I only rolled a 10.
You would roll a nat one.
Oh, wait, no.
I know, I
You
was
can-
so afraid.
That was
would've-
a 16, sorry.
Okay. All right. So, Mido, you grip the dead man switch and carefully remove it from Arya's mouth, maintaining the pressure so that the bombs don't explode. And you now have the dead man switch in your hand in the pliers.
Okay, when it's free, I'm going to cast Bandit. I'm going to get the because I cast this through the viol, so I'm going to get the viol out, and I'm going to play a very otherworldly sounding song and cast Banishment.
Okay.
On-
So you just start playing the Twilight Zone theme.
Yeah, basically.
She has to make a charisma save.
Can't
Unless
she
she's
willingly fail
voluntarily.
it? Yeah, we've been talking about this. Does she know what's going on? She has bravery.
Yeah. I'll say that she'll just allow it. So you see.
Before I do it, I'm like, you're going to be safe. It'll only be for a minute. We'll get you out of that, I promise.
She nods as okay. Now that the thing is free of her mouth, she says, "All right." And you focus your viol and play your melody. There's a popping sound, and she disappears. And all of the wired bombs clatter to the the chair. Mido,
Down
you
the
have
floors.
Mido, you have to struggle because now the bombs fall, and you sort of like there's a little bit of inertia that as if it's trying to pull the deadman switch out of the pliers. I need you to make another athletics check. At the same
Fuck.
time, Sissel is putting up the dome.
Yeah. Also, I'm assuming that like somebody else has Saviano right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like on the ground or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
Verna has him.
Verna
Okay.
You have guidance, by the way.
Yeah. You want to cast the guidance on that? You want to use your guidance?
I would use it.
How do I do that?
You roll a
Add-
d4.
Roll a d4.
Is that good enough, Mr. DM?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
What was the DC?
17?
It was a DC 15. But
Oh, wow.
Well,
So you literally
what's
just
guidance?
roll a 1. Oh my god.
good thing you had that guidance, because otherwise, well, okay. So Mito, you maintain your grip on the dead man switch. The bombs are sitting there, clattered into a pile on the chair. You are now encapsulated in a dome of force. What are you doing?
So now?
I just nod to Mito.
Okay. I dab and I let go of it.
Oh my fucking god!
You let go of.
I can't fucking believe it.
You let go.
Jesus
You let
Christ.
go. Okay. All right. This is how we resolve this. You let go. You do a dab, and as you're doing so, you throw the pliers out of your hand. They clatter into the side of the dome of force and fall to the ground. As the pressure is released on the dead man switch, you see all of the bombs begin ticking, and then before you can even focus on them, they detonate. Mito, you take 185
Oh!
Not enough to not enough to actually kill me. Just so we're clear.
Really?
points of damage. No, not
How
kill
many
you.
hit points do
You
you
would be
have?
out. She'd be unconscious, but it's not enough to kill her outright.
Oh,
She
okay,
actually
okay.
doesn't even, she isn't even unconscious. She retains 1 hit point.
Right. So as you feel this explosion beginning to emanate outward from the detonating bombs, and this heat wave takes over you, and you are thrown backwards, slamming into the side of the wall of force.
Ooh.
You crumple to the ground as this wave of fire washes over you.
It's a snow globe of hell.
As it dissipates, you are just lying in a heap on the ground, burned and charred and singed, and there's this pulse as your heart starts up again, and
Death Ward.
you are at 1 hit point. You slowly get to your feet. Your armor is burned all over. Your hair is a little singed. You actually have a shorter haircut now.
Fuck!
Aw, fuck.
That's the makeover. Gotta get a new icon. Sorry, Tom.
Nah, fuck.
But
I
you
did this
are
to myself.
you are alive.
I dropped
The
I
collect.
feel like shit, though.
The chair is completely disintegrated. I'm sorry, Hiraeth, those pliers are gone.
That's okay. I
Aw.
can get more.
I'm sure Alan has some backups.
I can make more probably.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of like fire on the edges of Mito, like the tips of Mito's hair, just sort of burning there still.
I'm just gonna drop collective unconscious for a hot sec.
Oh. Collective unconscious.
Yeah.
Is
Little
the wall
astrologian joke.
is the wall down? The
Yes.
force bubble.
Yeah.
Is
I'm
the
gonna-
area that the explosion happened in,
It's
is
like
it still really hot? Is it
Yeah,
bad?
it looks like a big charred crater at this point, really. Like this thing went off and probably blew out a good couple of feet of the floor into the concrete.
Woo.
Someone might want to be ready to catch Arya when she comes back.
I'm gonna rush over to Mito, pull her out of the crater, basically, and say, "You did well." I'm gonna cast 5th level Cure Wounds on her.
I really
Well,
hope that isn't traumatizing in any way, because I think I'm a little traumatized having watched it.
No, it's fine.
That
Are
was
you sure?
that was hands down one of the best uses of Death Ward I have ever seen.
This was like a fucking Final Fantasy strat or something.
Yeah.
Just use the fucking Pomander of Raising.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
It's 5d8 if I use 5th level, right?
Yeah.
For Cure Wounds. Okay.
I took the liberty, Mito, of dropping you to 1 HP because you don't pay attention to your health bar.
I was waiting for him to heal me because he said he was going to. So okay, I don't want to hear it.
Hold on. I have to do math.
Don't patronize me, Falk.
18. 26.
Wow.
31
numbers.
HP. Rolled low on a
31.
couple.
So you're at 32 right now, Mito.
This is best I can do it for the moment.
That's fine. I feel great.
Do you
And then I put out one of the fires in my hair.
just like pinch it with your fingers?
Yeah.
I think I kind of lean over to Sis and I whisper, I think this is some sort of coping.
Probably.
We don't
And I
cope
turn
here.
I turn to everyone and I say, "See, have a little faith."
You're
I was
you're
always
right.
faithful
Very
to
impressive.
you.
You hear a p sound as Arya rematerializes.
Catch her!
Oh, I guess I can catch her. I don't know if I'm close enough.
Well, if you walked over to Mito, I'd say you're probably close enough.
Okay, I'll try to slide to kind of catch her so she doesn't
Okay, make
break her
a
ass on the ground.
make an acrobatics check.
Oh fuck! I'm not good at those.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta
11.
roll. 11. You manage to just kind of grab her arm just in time. Not forcefully enough to dislocate it or anything, but you just kind of grasp her in your big
So
old
she doesn't
mitt.
fall into like the fiery crater.
Yeah.
I'll pull her out of it as quickly as possible.
Okay. And she's breathing heavily. She's sweating all over. She's shivering again.
Arya, I promise this is not how it is every day for us. Just let you know that.
She looks at all of you, and her eyes are just completely wide, and they start getting little creases at the side as her tears well up in her eyes, and she just begins sobbing uncontrollably and just like scream crying, basically. Like she is completely traumatized from this.
Jesus Christ! I don't think she's gonna want to stay with us.
No.
I'm gonna.
Moira immediately
Yeah.
rushes to her side and just
Aw.
tries to scoop her up in an embrace.
Hug her.
And Moira looks over at you, Sissel.
Mm-hmm. This was never meant to happen.
Hey, can we go throw this fucker in jail?
I want the word
is
with him
he?
before we throw him in jail.
Oh, hold on 1 second. I go up to him.
Still
and I
unconscious
kick-
and still invisible.
Let's
I
get
kick him in the stomach. Let me
He's,
make that
Verna,
clear.
Verna's holding him on the air right now, so I don't
Okay,
know.
well
Just,
I punch him in the
let's-
face.
let's get
he's also invisible.
I don't care. Let me punch
let's
him.
No, he's
let's-
not invisible anymore because Sissel had to use the wall
Oh.
which is concentration.
let's get Arya and Moira to safety before we do anything else.
Okay.
And
Is,
I spit on him.
is Saviano still invisible?
No, he's
no,
not.
he's visible.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, with Saviana's still unconscious form in tow.
Is he still Bowls?
Yes.
Okay.
You make your way out of the warehouse through the way you came, back into the streets. Moira is kind of guiding Arya along, has her hands on her shoulders, and just trying to make sure that she doesn't sort of run for it, basically. Just sort of calmly talking to her as you're walking along. As you exit back out into the street, Walden breathes a sigh of relief and he says, "Oh, I think that's enough excitement for an old man for one day."
Sorry, Walden.
We don't mean to drag you into trouble like this.
Nonsense.
We
If it
learned
wasn't
to-
you, it'd be my own foolish friends. So,
They would.
Oh my god, that would have been really bad.
We just learned a little too late.
well, stop by the shop at some point. Maybe I'll have a discount for you for saving my life.
Hmm,
Yeah.
very well.
Life-saving discount.
Chicky would just start chewing on the bombs.
In any event, I think I'm long overdue for that sandwich that I went out for. If you don't mind.
Right.
And he kind of tips his bowler hat.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Of course. But you have things well in hand now.
How much is a sandwich in Arcadia? I would know this. This is.
Couple silver for
Mino's been to every
I
sandwich
just-
shop in town.
half foot
I
hoden.
just, hey Walden, and I just toss him a gold for the sandwich.
Thank you, but I'm very rich now.
Hey, it's symbolic. Just take it, you fucking old man.
Very well. What kind of sandwich should I get, my dueña?
What is Mino's fave? Lauren, just go
Meatball
AFK.
sub.
Oh. What?
What?
Meatball sub?
I knew it. Meatball sub.
I thought you were gonna say eggy, but
Hey, listen.
Egg salad
She's got
sandwich.
more than eggs in her diet.
She's got meatballs.
very well. I'll have a meatball sub.
Mino has three main food groups: egg, meatball, and alcohol.
The Mito food pyramid.
My
Okay, and
Better.
he nods and tips his bowler hat, and he begins walking off.
Yeah. Let's get this.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Verna, let's get these two home first, and I kind of, before we take them in, I kind of want to rough them up a little bit. I don't think I'm the only one.
Oh, and I crack my knuckles.
Goff walks up. I'll let Bruno's conversation thing happen first before I say my thing. Well, the man that was after them is currently here. I would hope not.
I suppose
We
not.
we aren't aware of anyone else trying to kidnap our loved ones for some twisted symbolic purpose, are we? Any ideas?
Not at the moment.
Let us. I think it's best that they get somewhere comfortable.
Alright.
We've done well enough.
We can send them home and keep him here. Just for a few minutes.
Yes, I'll go back to the tavern with Arya. I think we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I don't.
It's not your fault.
In a way, it kind of is.
Not in a way that we intended.
No, but
It's a consequence of
Well,
people knowing who we are.
stop by later. We'll talk about it.
I just want to tell him his art shit.
She nods and begins.
I'm a little
walking
sad I didn't get to like pull the Jake Peralta on him. I was gonna try and move in the direction of like fucking with his pride and trying to like make him angry, but since this was a better idea, so it's fine.
So at that point, Moira, with Arya in tow, begins to make their way back to the stronghold.
I hate to say it, but Verna's right.
it's not right, but it would make me feel better.
I'd rather we break his fingers.
That was my intention. And frankly, I'm not entirely sure he's... I mean... Can we be sure he won't escape again?
Well, the only reason he escaped is because a catastrophic event orchestrated by a maniac cult and their twisted child leader happened to use the prison, and there was there were many circumstances that led to this. I don't think it's a common occurrence in the city.
No, but I don't trust him.
I would still rather break his hand so he can't do any of this ever again. I don't know how it would be looked on by others, but I
That is
don't
one
care
thing.
for giving him a chance.
I just want to see the look on his face when he realizes we completely got one over on him.
I just want to tell him his artist shit. Draw a fucking picture of a flower. You fucking idiot.
You absolute
This is all in
moron.
character. This is all in character, by the way.
Okay. So you have Saviano in your clutches. What do you wish to do?
Suppose there's no arguing at this point. We may as well take him to balls.
Guess so.
But
Let's go
Alright.
then.
So what are you doing?
Taking
Maybe
it
we're-
in.
All right. So he's hoisted over Verna's shoulder, still disguised as bowls. You make your way across town, just hauling him like he's a sack of potatoes, basically. He just stays unconscious the entire time. Eventually, you get to the military HQ, and as you're walking up through the drill grounds, basically, you're starting to get a lot of weird stares from some of the rank and file who are seeing, essentially, the lieutenant colonel seem walking with Major Bowles over her shoulder.
I mean,
Rough night.
if anyone makes it less suspicious, if it's the fucking military officer doing it.
Yeah. So
Goff,
We get
Goff,
the balls.
Goff,
I really want to be the one to speak.
we've walked past some people that are kind of close by, and Goff looks and turns to them, and he raises his hand, kind of a nod, like, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
so you make your way in. You get some further strange stares from the checkpoint guards who are confused that you're carrying a high-ranking officer. I mean, you outrank him obviously, but you're just carrying him around.
You're
like,
also carrying him back into his like place, so I mean, how suspicious could it be?
which is really, really, really odd. 'Cause he's all
Yeah.
tied up and everything.
That's true. That he was tied up.
But they figure the lieutenant colonel has a reason, and they're certainly not going to pull rank. Or they're not going to challenge you because you outrank them. Eventually, you make your way to the domestic affairs office where the real Major Bowles is.
When we walk in, we're like,
He's
all right, we're back in your office, Detective. What? And this
What?
is all, just to clear, this is all in character.
right now. Bowles has his back to you, and he sort of has like a mug of coffee, and he's looking over some maps of the city. And as you start saying it, he says, why are you clowning for it?" And then he turns around and he sees that you're carrying him. Oh, I assume you have an explanation for this. This has been a very strange day.
You think it's strange.
You think it's been strange indeed. We Sparrow.
Borrow.
we got him.
And this is... Who is this?
Saviano. He's a
No kidding.
we don't know anything about changelings, right?
No.
He's a type of creature or person that can change their shape at will. It
No
explains
kidding.
why people were captured by people they did by different faces. It was as far as we can tell, all him. We
Well,
watched him change into Sissel and our chef
shape
before our
changes.
life. Yes,
Shape changes. Interesting.
and he tried to
know,
use your
We
face
have
against
a
us, but
we have a tried and true method for revealing shape changes here in domestic affairs. If you'll allow me. He walks over
ahead.
to his desk and he opens his desk, and he pulls out a stun baton.
Yeah.
And he walks over and he offers it. Would anyone like to do the honors?
Me! I grab it.
Okay.
whoa,
Just give him a shock right there in the abdomen.
Oh, right here, and I do that.
Okay. As soon as you jolt him, and electricity runs through him, you see his changing form beginning to shift again as he bolts awake, straight upright as Bowles' form fades away, and you now see the changeling once more before you.
Oh, I don't think it. I don't think it didn't. I don't think it didn't work. Let me try. I'm just gonna shocking grasp.
He convulses a little bit.
I wave at him and I say, "Hey, bitch."
I have nothing to say.
Oh, and your
The
art
plan
sucks.
go very well. It does not seem.
Disabled your bombs. Looks like we really didn't need you after all.
You are indeed more clever than most of my victims. I'll enjoy playing with you the next time I escape.
I'm
And
sure you will.
you know, if I think about it, it's a bit awful, isn't it? You'll never know how we solved that. I guess you'll have a lot of time to think about it.
It
I'll,
was
I'll
really
I'll put my
cool.
foot on the side of his head.
How did we get her out of there? Maybe someday you'll figure it out.
I'll just like push his face away.
Maybe someday I'll torture it out of you.
Mm,
Torture me!
Gatsby.
You spent 4 years in a prison doing nothing. I spent 25 years of my life being tortured. You do nothing to me.
Yes, stop.
Bitch.
He looks over at Bowles. He says, "Officer, I believe you have a cell waiting me."
Do we have
Major.
Detective, do we have something a little more special for our friend since he's making so many claims?
Don't you worry. We got something for
I
him.
do want to point out he is capable of magic. And
Well,
he's also a bastard. And I really recommend breaking his hands. Verna said no, but I think it would help.
Verna, your superior says no, but I, a stranger, say yes.
I think we have something that'll do the trick.
No, but
Want to-
no.
Goff doesn't give a shit about military rank.
if you want to wait around, I'll have some of the boys come around with restraining devices, and I'll get your money ready.
But
Said
also,
no, but-
I don't know if, does anyone know the locations that can, Verna or Ellen, do you know the locations we found the evidence, and I believe this is something that they would probably want to look at, correct? The buildings where we found Mama. and-
Yes, I'll pass that along to the major.
Okay, because Goff doesn't really know addresses, so
Yeah.
he just kind of does things by memory.
So you guys
Yeah.
kind of wait around. You can continue to taunt Saviano if
No,
you wish.
Goff just does the one thing. He doesn't.
Okay. After a bit, a couple of high-ranking officers who, Verna, you recognize as being part of the Mage Slayer unit.
Oh
They come in,
Jesus!
wheeling in what looks to be like a hand truck. They come in with like a straight jacket and like a face mask, like Hannibal Lecter style.
Oh my God!
Wow.
And they put the jacket on him and they put the face mask on him and they strap him into this hand truck and they start wheeling him off. And in the meantime, Bowles comes up with a bag. He hands it to you. He says, "There, some platinum, 200 platinum coins, if that's okay. If it's not, I can go get gold."
No, that I think that'll be okay. Easier to manage.
Very well. Pleasure doing business. I hope I'll see you again soon with another quarry.
Hopefully.
Yes.
You all look beat. You should take some rest.
Yeah.
You
He
think?
looks
And
at,
I
he looks
point
at
my-
Mido.
Mido is
Mido.
still singed.
We
Hold on a
solved-
second. Hold on a second there. And he kind of like reaches his finger out and like douses another flame that's just popped up on your head.
Oh, I didn't notice that one. I think I should just cut my hair at this point, right? And it's like a fucking mess. It's a goddamn disaster.
Got a couple split ends there.
So, you have completed your first of 5 bounties.
Ugh.
You now have
What an
2,000 gold
ass.
I'm
pieces.
thoroughly traumatized a teenager.
Mm,
Yeah.
It is, as you exit from the HQ, it is now getting later in the day. It's probably closer to 6 p.m. at this point. You've been running around the city for a great deal of time and dealing with Saviona's bullshit.
It is bullshit. Goff walks up to Mido and puts his hand on the top of her back and just gets her attention. Says,
Yeah.
Sorry,
For what?
I don't know. Thank you for trusting her. It was a odd, unorthodox solution, but it strangely means something to me that you would suffer that on faith alone.
Well, whatever, I guess.
Well,
Mido's
yes.
like really, really just trying not to smile it off. It's like it's not tricking anyone. It's not.
What's your favorite drink? Suppose I owe you one.
No, I don't know alcohol. That's me out of character. I'll just be clear here. I don't know strong alcohol.
I don't know.
I drink cider. I drink cider and that's it.
I don't know, just that Faust listed a few of the original things that people drink in this
Well,
world before.
what would Mido drink? Would she drink like a hard liquor, or would she drink cider? What would she drink?
Does she pretend to be tough, but she drinks like like a really like
It's tough.
low in?
Tough.
Okay.
Order like a whiskey on like a bourbon on the rocks or something.
Yeah, that. Do that.
Yeah.
I say that.
When we get back, I know we have more than enough, but I'll send one your way.
Alright. You know, if I had my way, he'd be melted by now, but I know you have a job to do, Bruno.
Think of it this way, I agree, but at least we got more money, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's worth having him be existing at all.
It's okay. It's better
That's
for
a-
him to suffer in that fucking prison than get the quick way out,
is-
right?
Despite what he might think, he is an evil thing, and it's hard to let that live.
As long as there's no fucking Silence of the Lamb shit that goes down on in there.
I've actually never seen that movie, so I don't actually know what that means. I know that there's like he's the guy with the mask, but I don't.
Doesn't he
Oh,
escape
does
in
he?
that one? I think he like
At the end, yeah.
yeah. I know he escapes at least 1 or 2 times, so but I've never seen those films actually.
I saw the first one. It's a good movie.
I read Red Dragon. That's the only thing I've
Yeah,
seen.
I've only ever seen the ABC series.
It's so gross.
I'm sorry we didn't get to melt or break his fingers, Sissel.
Ugh.
I don't think Eldath would have been very happy with me if I didn't anyway. Sometimes I think a little bit of my brothers comes out in me.
Is it
Well,
your
I guess-
brothers or is it us?
Definitely them. You don't really want me to break people's fingers, but crag breakers, at least when you've seen them. They were worse. And when I don't know, sometimes when I get angry, it's complicated.
You're
Right.
better than them, just so you know.
Oh, well, that's what I want to be, and I think... I don't know. Thank you. We should go back to the Snapdragon, I think.
Yeah.
I want to sit down.
I'm tired.
I almost missed this. Almost overslept.
So, with weariness setting in, you all slowly make your way across the city back to the Snapdragon, back to the safety of your walls. You step within the tavern, back home again. What do you wish to do?
I get a drink.
Yeah, I'll buy Mito a drink.
They give you free drinks here because you are.
Well, I'm gonna give a gold to them anyway. Maybe Goff doesn't know that because he never gets drinks at the tavern.
Is Holg there?
Holg is there. He's in the back preparing some
Oh,
sausage and
yeah.
peppers.
I was so caught up in
Yeah.
fucking dunking on Saviano, I forgot about Ho actually not being captured.
I go up to Holg just to and make sure he's real. I touch his shoulder.
Oh, hi.
Oh,
The food
I
will be
give him
ready
a hug.
soon.
I give him a hug.
Aw, a hug for Hulk.
Hmm?
A hug.
Thank you. I don't have any more ice cream.
It's okay. You can get some later.
Okay, food will be ready in about 15 minutes if you want to stick around.
The hug uncomfortably long.
Goff catches Hulk's eye from like behind Mito and just kind of gives us like a slight bow to him.
Did something happen?
No, I'm just glad to see you, that's all.
Oh,
We-
okay.
It's been a rough day, and it's good to see a familiar face associated with comfort. It's a nice thing.
Thanks. Okay. I can't finish making food if you're not gonna let go of me.
I sigh and I let go.
He goes back to preparing dinner.
I'll share a drink with Mito at the bar for a couple minutes.
Okay.
I'll get some like fucking cider or something real weak.
Okay. Okay. What are the rest of you doing? Verna stayed at the HQ to sort of debrief. Hiraeth and
I'm drinking.
Sis. Okay, so you're all at the bar drinking.
I'm gonna go find Moira.
Okay. Agatha lets you know that she's actually gone down to the anti-magic room with Arya.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for Hulk to finish making food, and I'm just gonna like take something comfort foody.
Okay. Yeah, he makes some sausage and peppers and little sub sandwiches. You head downstairs to where the room is, and just as you're coming down the stairs with the food, you see Moira leaving the anti-magic room, closing the door behind her, and she catches sight of you, and she kind of like puts a finger to her lips.
I nod.
It's like, how are you?
Probably better than you or her right now.
Oh, I'll live. Can't be worse than what happened to me in the forests. But she's gonna take some time. I think I'm starting to make progress. I don't think she's gonna run off just yet, but I'm still not sure.
I can't imagine today helped at all.
I think maybe it would be good if you talk to her.
No?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I'll leave you two alone.
I've got some food, so.
I'm gonna head up. I'll leave you to it.
Okay. Thank you for helping out so much, and I'm sorry for getting
It's
caught
not your
you
fault.
up in all this.
It's not your fault. It's none of your fault.
Okay.
She nods to you and she kisses you on the forehead and walks up the stairs back to the main floor.
Okay. I'm gonna balance my tray of food and just kind of knock gently on the door and go, "Hey, I'm coming
There's
in,
no
okay?"
Okay.
I'm just gonna gently walk in and set the tray of food on the.
All right. You see Arya. She's across the room. She's got a chair she's sitting on in a corner, and she's sort of curled up on it with her legs up on the chair. She's, with her hands wrapped around her knees, just sort of staring off into space a little pensively.
I brought you some food. How are you feeling
This
right
is-
now?
I gotta change this music.
Oh yeah.
This is not. Uh, not hungry, but thank you.
Um, so he can't hurt you anymore. We made sure that he's been put away. And
Okay.
he was a sick son of a bitch who was going after whoever he could. And I don't think something like this will happen again. But also I understand if you're not feeling terribly good about being here right now.
I'm not sure it's any safer out there.
Oh, yeah. Probably right, but I just want to let you know that, regardless of what you choose, we're willing to look out for you, and keep you safe as best we can. If that is what you want. And if it's not what you want, then we'll find some way to accommodate that as well. I just want to, I guess, say that I'm sorry that all this happened to you in one day, 'cause, oof.
She just sort of stares off into space a little bit. Why did you come for me?
Because why not?
What do I mean to you? We've
Yeah.
only just met. I've known you less than a day, and you've shown me more kindness than anyone in my life has ever shown me.
Well, I didn't really have a reason not to. You're like me. You were in danger. We weren't about to just leave you there.
So just because I'm like you, just because I've got these, and she sort of scratches at the scales.
Do you have a
It's the
problem
only
with that?
reason.
It's not the only reason, no. Even if you didn't have scales, we'd still come after you.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Weirdly good at that.
She sort of hugs her knees a little tighter. Seems lost in thought for a little bit. I like you, and I like your friends. But I'm not sure.
That's okay.
I don't know a lot about anything right now. I don't think it's safe out there. I'm not sure if it's safe here. People are coming after you. I don't know what to do.
Give it time. Sleep on it. You're welcome to stay here as long as you like. And talk to whoever you like. Assume as long as you're here, you've got the run of the place. And
What if my powers go off again?
then we'll deal with
I
that
hurt
when
someone.
then we'll deal with that as it comes. But for now, assume that they won't, and if you ever want assistance learning magic or learning how to maybe control your powers a little better, I'll be here, Mora will be here.
She slowly nods in response. She doesn't respond verbally. She kind of just nods and looks off into the distance a little bit. Seems very lost in thought. That's it. She doesn't say anything.
I just kind of nod silently and just gesture. I know you said you weren't hungry, but I'm just going to leave this food here. You can eat it or not, but I just want you to know that I know I can be a little rough around the edges sometimes, but I'm looking out for you and so are the rest of my friends and family. And I don't think that there's a person here who will want the sea harm to come to you. Not in the Blue Hearts.
She doesn't respond to you. She just sort of stares off a little bit. She seems to have kind of turned inward a little bit, and she's thinking.
Okay. I just kind of nod and I walk away.
Okay. So you get up and you leave the room, close the door behind you. Return to the tavern main floor where all of your friends are drinking, trying to unwind after a thoroughly harrowing day.
I too am going to have a fucking drink.
Okay. As all of you are sitting at the bar, drinking, it's now 7 or 8 p.m. It's getting on in the night. More and more people are coming to the tavern. It's getting a little more lively. Hulk has brought you out some food. Continues bringing out as much food as you wish. You can have your fill.
Hell yeah.
And they keep refilling the drinks so long as
I
you
don't.
want.
I don't think Goff would probably have only a couple. I don't think he would drink a ton.
Okay.
I think at some point during this, I just kind of let the party know, like, hey, I went down and talked to Arya, and she seems a little shaken, but, you know, I just kind of let her know that we cared about her and all that sappy crap, but, you know, we do, I think.
Sappy.
I maybe got
Good
a
though.
little sappy. Don't tell anyone.
Goff does a zipper motion over his mouth.
I think... I don't know. I don't know what decision she's going to make, but it seems that she's okay for now. I left her some food.
Well, certainly a hell of a first day of knowing us, so
Sure is. It's a really great first impression.
if necessary, maybe we can leverage that. Like, it can't possibly get worse than that.
That's gonna jinx it.
That's definitely going to jinx it.
Alright, you're probably right.
You know, for all that we're capable of and all the good we wish to do, something tells me that all of this,
He kind of gestures towards the sky, or I guess towards the ceiling.
that moon-like thing, the Eye of Ganadar, lies a scion. All these things, I have a feeling that they're going to get worse before it gets better.
You know that phrase, it's always darkest just before the dawn?
Ah, very much so, yes. But I think of it often to push me to the next day.
Yeah.
I think you're right, but it still will get dark. And just for a moment. What matters is, how well we withstand it.
We're tough.
Are we?
You
Oh, I
withstood.
thought you were the toughest of them all.
Well, I mean, I guess.
Mind though, you struck a
Flex.
pose and then stood in a hole with a bunch of bombs going off. I think you might be the toughest person at the stable.
Yeah, that was
Well,
pretty
you know. Well, you know.
What did I say?
It's pretty much.
It was pretty metal.
Yeah, it was pretty mental.
I've certainly never seen anyone do that before.
It was a
But,
little jarring.
Goff put rests a couple of his big old fingers on her wraith and Sissel's.
Your cunning always amazes me more than I could imagine it would.
I fucked that sentence up.
Yeah.
And it was with a slight consequence of pain on Maito's part. It's a good plan.
But
Didn't mind it.
Yeah. What would you all do without me? I know.
We'd be dead.
would be super
He'd be
dead.
dead. I mean, we can't even deny it.
No,
There's
it was not a
no.
joke.
It's pretty much an empirical fact. So
Gareth just
thanks
kind
for.
of smiles over her mug of ale.
I do not joke about such matters. You are the strongest glue, Horaith. You hold us well together more than you think.
All it means is that when we're all together, not even a wacko like that guy can get the best of us.
An idiot.
It was pretty satisfying getting to mess with his head a little.
I hope he doesn't get to
That
paint a
was
single
pretty
fucking
good.
picture.
I did like that.
After all this time, I know that I have a tendency for getting sappy, so I apologize. And I look at Sissel for a second when I say sappy. But I think I still, after all this time with you all, I've been saying y'all too much lately.
Whoops.
I still focus too much on what can I alone do, and I need to think more about what can we all do together. And I felt a panic because with what I am capable of, I couldn't do anything by myself. But it was relieving and comforting to see it all of the parts click together like that when we all contributed.
Yeah.
I just, it's a point to be made for sure.
We make a pretty good team.
Too bad Verna's not here.
Oh. One of these
Verna's a tough
days,
one.
we'll drag her in. To
One
like
day.
a drinking contest or something. I'll lose, but you
man.
know.
Please.
Well,
No,
Maito
she
is
used to be fun.
Oh.
really.
Yeah.
I'm
More
not sure.
fun. Sorry.
I'm not sure I can picture Verna being particularly wild.
I saw her take 2 drinks.
2 whole drinks.
Impressive.
See, when things get really crazy is when you take one drink and you put it inside the other drink, and then you drink it all at
Double
once.
drink.
You can do that?
Yeah.
It's called double drink, yeah.
It's called double drink. Well,
You ever heard of a Boilermaker?
no, but that sounds like it would probably kill me.
That's the
Maybe.
name of the drink.
Is Wraith gonna do sake bombs? What's happening?
She's just talking about it. I get the feeling that like a Boilermaker is a very like popular dwarven drink.
Oh, that sounds like some
Sure.
hard shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a shot of whiskey dropped into a beer
Yeah.
with like the glass and everything.
Yeah,
The
those are fun.
Jaeger bomb.
Sake
Yeah, it's
bomb.
basically a bomb. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
She doesn't want to do that right now though. She's
Yo.
already feeling drained. She's just
your family certainly gets more creative. The Goliaths were a little more simple. Not mixing a whole lot together.
it was one of the things to pass the time.
You know,
Better than
Emmeline.
Better than daily manslaughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Emmeline used to be a bigger drinker than me.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she could drink me under the table.
That's genuinely terrifying.
Oh, it was. I loved her. That's how we met, by the way.
That's fitting.
Well, I am
That's
exhausted.
odd. I suppose I've never really known her. I couldn't have, but I never thought of her as someone who would drink you under the table, so to speak.
Full of surprises.
Tell me, was Emmeline tougher than Mitoania?
In some ways, yes.
Hmm.
For example, she was the one that usually killed the bugs.
Very important qualifier for anybody in a relationship.
Hmm.
If she was here, I'm sure she'd love you guys.
Well, she's still out there somewhere, isn't she?
Whiteout tenses up. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go lay down.
Apologies, very well.
It's okay. Sorry. No, it's fine. And she just kind of scurries off with her drink.
No.
Hmm.
Well, I'm beat.
I think
at this
I've,
point.
what have you called it? Killed the mood. I am sorry.
Not that much. I just kind of like playfully kick him under the table.
Cecil, don't you think Tackle's been missing you?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go give him a big hug.
Okay.
You
So
should.
tackle's up in your room. When you get back up there, you see he's knocked a bunch of things off your shelf.
Oh,
Please,
yeah.
cat.
Sure is a cat, even a monster cat. I'm only gonna. I'm just gonna go look at like broken vase number 3 on the ground. Just look at Tackle and go.
He's he's curled up in a corner. He just deliberately avoids eye contact with you.
Oh, he knows.
Did you get bored? I'm sorry. Honestly, I could have maybe used you there to maybe
Sort of
put
hurts
your
a little
jaws around the really nasty man.
Mm,
What?
Tackle might have just killed him.
He
That
he swishes his tail back and forth
Yeah.
a little bit, licks one of his multiple paws.
yeah. I'm just gonna settle in with Tackle and give him a scratch behind the ears and
Okay.
go to sleep.
All right. You all head into bed.
Yeah.
Goff will give Haraith a little half hug around the shoulders as they, part from the bar, and I guess
pat him
also
on the
Ellen,
back.
because I guess Ellen's
Got
there, or
his
maybe
contact.
Ellen. Maybe
Ellen's
Ellen
probably
already.
seen to her children and put
Yeah.
them to bed and everything.
And then Goff will just kind of nod to Haraith and go off to his room.
Okay. So you're all turning in for the night.
Yeah.
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 Okay. You all make your way back up to your rooms, settling in for a long and well-deserved rest that evening as the rain begins to fall overnight, striking against your window panes. Hiraeth,
Uh-oh.
Um,
The
Not a good
the
tone.
utterance of one name before the pause.
You have a good night's sleep.
you just have the best dream.
scared.
Hiraeth. Frigid winds bite against your skin and whip across your face. The snow under your boots crunches heavily against your footsteps. Before you stretches an icy cliffside overlooking a field of white powder that stretches endlessly toward distant glaciers. He waits for you at the top of this cliff. You come to a stop, your viol clenched in one hand, sword hilt in the other. With a vibrant hum, the sunblade roars to life, melting the snow around your feet, the divine light sizzling close at hand. Before you, Mogram looks out over the field, the wind whipping back his matted orange hair. I'm so tired, Hiraeth, he whispers into the wind. Tired of watching your star rise as mine falls. Tired of watching you pretend to play hero. Tired of this struggle and of your impossible ignorance to what has become of our family. He turns toward you, and you tighten the grip on your weapon and instrument. No more. He raises two scimitars in his hand and strikes the blades against one another. They vibrate, creating a steady hum within the air, a hum that Magram matches with his own bass. You raise your sunblade and rush forward as dark mists coalesce to either side of you, forming into malignant shades. Ghostly dwarves manifest before you, their eyes glowing red with hate, and they grasp at you. More and more appear, dozens, then hundreds, and you are swarmed. Your attack on your brother impeded as more ghastly hands grasp at you, restraining your wrists and arms, holding you back. Margrim strides forward, readying his cutlass. He stops within feet of you. Your vision swims with anger of betrayal as Margrim leans in and whispers, "No more." As your brother strikes toward your unprotected stomach with his blade, you feel a new hand on your shoulder. You are pulled violently backward, ripped from the shade's grasps. Magram roars in frustration as you sail backward, away from him and his ghostly army, hundreds and hundreds of feet. And you are speeding now, your vision growing hazy in the rush, unsure which way is up and which is down. The world stops spinning. You are lying on the ground, face up, the cold snow seeping into your hair and clothing as you stare up at the cloudless sky. You hear the crunch of bootsteps nearby, and a silhouette enters your field of view. A dwarf. He stoops over you, then reaches his hand out. "Oh, blood of my blood, rise. You have so much more to do and so much more to learn. Of this, a responsibility, and our burden." You find yourself on your feet, staring once more toward that cliffside, but this time, instead of Magram, you see the same silhouetted dwarf, the sun obscuring his features as he gazes placidly over the horizon. And he looks back toward you expectantly.
I'll approach him.
As you approach, it doesn't matter what direction you take, he is nothing more than a shadow against the impossibly bright sun. You can make out no features of this man except that he is a dwarf. He does not say anything as you approach.
The sun's behind him, right?
Yeah.
Do I get a sense of if it's like rising or sinking?
It's rising.
Okay. Do you want me to come find you?
Not yet. You are not ready for these truths just yet. You must grow stronger. Your brother, he's glimpsed the truth, and it has broken him. Do not hate him. He does what he does out of confusion and desperation because he does not know who to turn to. But we will meet one day.
How will I know when?
You will know. It will come in time, but much has to pass before then. We will meet once you gaze upon the one dark strand of possibility. Once you and your allies pass into the mists to discover the true origin of this realm and your purpose. Once you and your allies craft the first fledgling notes of your song, a glorious composition that will beat back the darkness. But before all of this, a fated meeting awaits you. Be open-minded, blood of my blood. Your 8th steel song. Wake up! Your 8th. You awaken to find yourself sitting upright in bed, staring out over your darkened apartment. The heavy patter of rain strikes your window pane, the occasional lightning crash illuminating the flat. And as your vision focuses and your mind shrugs off the final motes of dream, your keen awareness takes over, and you realize you are not alone.
Who?
Hello?
What do you do?
Do I sense where the person is?
You see a silhouette of a form standing on the opposite side of the room from you, still hidden in the darkness somewhat.
Who are you?
Figure steps out of the shadows, and you see a stout and muscular form, and the lightning flashes once more, lighting up your apartment for a moment, and you clearly see the leather-clad form of the dwarven trigger woman who ambushed you with her company cohorts within the forest days ago.
Oh, oh
I'm
fuck.
trying to
Oh,
remember.
shit.
Was this
Oh shit.
all the shadow people, or was it something different?
This is the company ambush.
Right. When they were all different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one was?
Um,
I know we didn't learn their names, but which one was that name for player?
The
sake?
monk.
Oh,
monk,
okay. I
right.
remember her now.
The dwarven
Okay.
monk. The one that Hiraeth used the ghosts on.
Oh right, that's right. Then she responded to
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Oh yeah.
She takes one step forward out of the shadows, kind of gauging you hesitantly.
Well, if you're here to kill me, you're not doing a very good job of it yet.
She kind of holds up one hand as if to say wait, and with her other hand she pulls back her hood and removes her mask, and you see a young dwarven woman, probably around your age. She possesses long curly orange hair, freckles on her fair skin, and intense bright blue eyes, and she's biting her lip a bit nervously before she speaks. I'm Danya of Clan Cloak Shadow, and she takes a step forward. Legendary Skald. And she stops, seems to be thinking for a moment, and then she, while still keeping her gaze on you, she reaches with her free hand and begins slowly removing her dagger from its sheath.
Oh.
Do you respond in any way?
I'm just watching her.
As she's continuing to gauge you for a moment, and she carefully removes the dagger from its sheath, and she holds it sideways, and she carefully balances it on the flat of her hand, studying it before she looks toward you, and she takes one knee, and while bowing her head, she offers the dagger up toward you, and she swallows audibly, and she says, Legendary Skull, my blade is yours to command.
Oh.
What?
Why?
I, I'm sorry, I didn't think this far ahead. Oh God. And she kind of gets up, and she's the dagger real quick, and she looks very embarrassed.
I want to go ahead and like get out of bed, by the way.
Okay. And she starts pacing back and forth. She's like, okay, oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be embarrassed. I
I-
just don't know what's going on.
I thought of this moment a long time, and I messed it up. I'm sorry. Look, Danny, get it together, get it together. And she seems like start having a panic attack a little
Oh,
bit.
Really, really calm down. I don't have any spells to help you. You have to do that yourself.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I'm Dania. I'm sorry, I said that already.
Mood.
I'd die for her.
You don't know why I'm here?
The last I believe I remember of you, you were trying to kill me and my friends, so
Oh,
no.
well, I don't have an active kill order against you or your friends right now, so
That's
I
good,
thought
thank
maybe
you.
we could let bygones be bygones.
Are you still part of the company?
I mean, yeah,
They don't like us, you know.
I know, but look, my clan, my family, we've walked with and we've protected the legendary Skald of the Steel Song line for hundreds of years.
Have I heard of this at all?
No, no, this is all
uh,
new to you.
this is the first I've heard of that.
It it ended a while ago, when your great grandfather Dagald broke the oath.
Which oath?
The the Skald has always been a sign of hope for the Dwarven people, a sign of inspiration. But he used his powers for ill, and he used us as assassins instead of protectors.
I
So he
see.
broke the oath. And we parted ways, but ever since I was a young girl, my grandmother always talked to me about the Steel Song blood and our duty to it. And I always thought one day I would be able to offer my blade.
Well, sorry, I wasn't really mentally or emotionally prepared for someone to offer me fealty tonight.
Oh,
Had a bit of a rough day.
Can you come back tomorrow?
uh, what?
I'm sorry. I know this is weird. I should have just waited until morning. I was afraid if I just walked in, you
I
guys
mean,
would attack me. Um,
we had the it's storming outside. It's dark. This is about what I would expect.
you're a lot different from the other one.
Other one, my
Um,
brother.
there's another one. Yeah, he said his name was Mogram. He came to our village, and he 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 overwhelmed my elders with a show of his strength, and they all swore allegiance to him, but it didn't seem right to me. And then when I met you in the forest and I saw your power, I thought maybe you were the one I was meant to meet.
Well, it's worrying to know about my brother, but well, I'll deal with that later. What exactly, for you, you seem to know much more about this than me. What does this entail for you? If you were to offer your blade
I
to
would
me, as you say.
I would protect you. I would fight for you. I would die for you.
Okay, let's not go that far. I don't want that. I don't want anyone dying for me. That
Oh, sorry. I mean, I don't you don't want my help. I'll go.
I mean, I'm not really. I don't really want to deny someone what they feel they must do, but I've never been raised in a place where I expected something like this. If you want, you can just stick around for a while.
Okay, won't your friends attack me?
Not if I don't tell them to.
Oh right, is there somewhere I should go?
Uh,
She's sort of like squinting a little bit, like she's really confused.
you didn't think very far ahead, did you? What did
No,
you think
I'm
you were going to
sorry.
do right after I said yes or no?
I don't know. I thought the gates of destiny would open up and reveal the path to. I don't know. Look, um, I mean, I did think a little bit. Here, and she reaches into a satchel that's at her side, and she pulls out this strange white stone that has kind of a swirling pattern on it, and you recognize those as sending stones. And she says,
Ah.
I'll keep one and give one to you, and if I can stay out of your hair, and if you ever need me, you just send a message. Does that work?
Yeah, I think, not yeah, sorry. That, sounds like it'll work, and I'll reach out and take it. What else are you going to do if I don't call upon you to do anything else?
I mean, I still have a day job.
With the people that want to kill us, yes.
I mean, they're not coming after you for now.
Do you have any information about, what they know, what they're planning?
I can't really tell you that. I would put my family in danger.
Okay. It's a very interesting idea of fealty you have.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna raise my blade against you or your friends. I can't put them in danger.
Well, we have a lot that's going on right now, but if that's your case, we can see about doing something about it. Especially, the rest of your clan is thrown in with Markram. There might be some issues down the line there.
Okay. I'll just go now then.
The way you came in, which I don't know what it was.
Oh, I have kind of a little. I mean, I have kind of a trick. And watch, and she steps into some nearby dim light, and as you're watching, there's like a poof, and you're now looking out at the. You're looking around, and then you suddenly hear a tapping on the windowsill.
What?
As now she's outside.
That would have been very useful yesterday. But I'll kind of wave.
And she waves back a little awkwardly, and she holds up the sending stone again. She points at it, and then she just sort of runs off.
Oh my god.
That was such a weird conversation.
Hirite kind of like sits on her bed and just kind of like falls backwards and stares at the ceiling for a while.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit.
Just, that feeling when you have a big magical super destiny and your parents never fucking tell you about anything.
That feel when,
That feel when you know.
I feel when you suddenly have a bodyguard of some sort.
Oh, this fucking thing you linked, Red. Yosuke will die now die for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is basically it.
This is just it.
Okay, so
Yeah, Hirite doesn't go back to sleep. She's too busy, like, fucked up about all the 200 things that just happened.
all right. So you all get a long rest.
Oh gosh, I didn't think this far ahead.
That's really
What an
good.
icon.
So you all get a long rest. Hiraeth too, I'll say. So you get enough
Thank
sleep.
you.
You
Jeez.
wake up early the next. You wake up the next morning. You wake up whenever you want. I don't care. 10 a.m., 12 p.m., whatever. Big one.
Arlington, yeah. Woo.
Hirite did that thing where you're awake too early, but you just kind of wait until like a socially acceptable
Yeah.
time to be up, and then
Yeah.
just kind of goes
Don't move.
downstairs at like 7-ish or 8-ish and get some coffee, I guess. It's just kind of staring at
Oh,
the
what the fuck?
staring at the
Yikes.
bar
What's
or the
that
table
roll
or wherever.
for?
That's for staff of power charges.
Oh, +4.
Yeah. I rolled shit.
Wait, what's the +4 for?
It's a 2d8 plus 4. It regains 2d8
Oh,
plus 4
okay.
charges at dawn.
Cool.
I have a roll for my staff, but I don't have to make the roll because I had 6 out of 10, and the thing is literally +4, so it doesn't
Okay,
matter.
so
Like, I
you're
rolled
all
back,
you're
but,
all back up to full. Hiraeth, you go downstairs. All drink get you some fresh brewed coffee. Well, looks like you had quite a night.
She just kind of looks up and gives her a blank stare. Yeah, it was something.
Well, don't let it get to you.
Hmm.
You all
I'll just-
slowly make your way.
Goff,
Yeah.
Goff's probably got up early. He's probably out in the garden with the tree. I think Goff probably goes to the tree every morning at this point. and
Mito
tries to
got up
meditate with
early.
it. I don't believe you.
Mito got up early, and she got her hair cut.
Was it?
Oh.
What was the thing that I tried to do before that didn't quite work with the tree? I like rested my hand on and did like a meditation.
Yeah, you tried to meditate with it to try to talk to it.
Yeah, I think Goff tries to do that again in the morning
Okay.
after he's done all his
All right.
waking up stuff.
So I'll say you probably spend a couple hours in meditation, trying to strike the proper balance between speaking with the tree and just trying to find a peaceful center, because you get the sense that from your previous experience that if you try to force the connection, it won't happen.
Right. Yeah.
How about you roll a d20 for me?
Okay. 3.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you're not managing it this time.
All right. Well, I can still
We
just
can
chill
try.
out.
You can try another time.
Yeah.
What are the rest of you doing in the meantime?
So after Mito gets her hair cut, she tries to find Goff.
He'll be at that tree. He's that
Goes
tree
to the
boy.
tree. That tree boy.
That tree boy.
Goff sits there not responding physically at all. and then he slightly after Mayo does the really awful cough that you just did. he slightly turns his head. He's just like,
What is it, Mido?
I just wanted to, apologize.
he kind of relaxes. He kind of like loosens a little bit, and then he's like, and he turns towards her and he's like, why?
Last night when I ran off.
Oh, no, I have a tendency for diving too deep too quickly.
No, it wasn't a problem. It's just, I don't know. I was tired. I just blew up. And I think I'm ready to start talking more about her. It's just, if I do that again, I'm sorry. It's a process, I guess. And she looks like really embarrassed because she's talking about her feelings. She doesn't know how to do that.
You're entitled to deal with it however you wish. No judgment here. If you recall, I in particular spent quite a long time saying 0 words to you all and telling you nothing. So, you will not get anything from me. Take your time.
And
You're
she
ready,
like
you're
mumbles.
ready.
When she mumbles this under her breath, she's like, "Can I get a hug?"
I'm gonna roll to see if I heard it. Yeah, okay, I heard it. If it was 11 or higher, I would say it.
What?
Goff just doesn't say anything, and he gets up and he just walks over and wraps his arms around Mido, or I guess kind of lets his like wrists and forearms kind of fall over her back because he's fucking huge.
Yeah, hug the back. I just stabbed myself. Oops.
Oops.
I gotta move this X-Acto knife away from me.
Oh.
They
Yikes.
hug each other. It's very cute. It's fine.
Yeah. And Goff just pats her and says,
Just take your time. It's no one else's business but your own. I shouldn't have pried.
Okay, I just you're fine. And she like gets on her toes and pats him on the shoulder. It's a cool tree you got there.
How big is the
God.
tree now?
Really fucking big. It towers over the skyline of the city.
I love how it's just like the slums, and then there's just this big tree in it.
It's a good aesthetic.
Yeah.
There's some symbolism about Goff in there somewhere in the just existing, but Goff kind of like awkwardly, like he like pauses for a second. He looks up at it. He's
Yes, well, thank you. It's been here the whole time.
I know, it's just, it's good.
Yes, well, a little bit of Felania's and Moira's help. It's grown quite well. The strangest thing. I think if I find it myself just the right way, I think I can talk to it, or at least understand it.
Weird. I just blew up.
You're like I don't know nobody.
Oh my god.
I don't know what you mean.
I mean, it's not weird that you're talking to a tree of all the
No,
things.
It was something that Alonso said, and I talked a little bit with Moira, and I felt. Was it a day ago, 2 days ago? When did it happen?
It was like a couple days ago, yeah.
A couple of days ago, I reached out to it, and I felt something, but it was so surprising. I lost touch with it, and now it seems that I need to find a balance. I cannot force it, so I think I'm going to be spending a lot more time out here trying to find that voice. See what he or she or they have to say.
With the tree?
Yes. I would love to learn its name. Alonso said that they all seem to have a name.
Think it's Applebee?
I don't think so, but I suppose anything's possible in this world.
What if it's Applebee and we name that one in the... Oh no, that'd be awkward, wouldn't it?
It would be quite strange, but I don't suppose that they'll meet anytime soon, so...
Are they still hugging?
I'm sure. I figured at this point Goff kind of
Yeah.
unwrapped from the hug and was just
Okay.
kind of backed a couple steps back and was just kind of gesturing towards the tree and stuff.
Okay, just making
But yes, if you ever need a peace of mind, I find this is one of the best spots in the city. Not the best. You've done quite a good job with it.
Yeah, it looks
Your hair looks,
It's
better.
out of her eyes!
it looks better
It's out of her eyes and it's a lot
than
shorter.
yesterday.
Yeah, it's like the first time I've gotten it, like, cut by a professional. Since...
There are people that do that as a job.
Yeah.
Odd.
Goff just kind of like looks down, like kind of pulls at his beard a little bit. He's like, "Well,
Your beard
figured-
very well. I obviously did not keep my hair very well.
Well, it's been burned and singed and sliced here and there, but I'm not one for style, as you all know, but I quite have something about. I think it suits me.
Yeah, you look good.
I also don't feel like cutting it ever, so
he just kind of shrugs awkwardly."
And you got birds in there, so that'd be weird. You go to the hairdresser and they're like, oh, there's a bird in here.
when I'm here, I find that Mikar, especially, is still quite misses nestling up in there. I don't know why, but she likes it.
And he kind of pulls on open in the middle part of the beard, and you hear little peeps. And he's,
Well, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? I'm going to spend a little more time here.
Yeah, I'll leave you to it. I'm gonna go eat my eggs.
All right.
and he'll just kind of clap her shoulder and then go back to kind of his like cross-legged position he was in.
Finger guns.
Goff might never fucking know how to end a conversation between the two
No,
of them. It just kind of keeps going awkwardly until it's like, well, time for me to hit the dusty trail.
I'm gonna go.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing in the meantime? Hello.
probably eaten breakfast.
Yeah, Sissel's gonna eventually, like... Actually, Tackle gets up and comes
Okay.
downstairs, but Sissel's clinging to him, so it's kind of half asleep.
Oh, I'm dead.
Like a koala.
Ugh.
Like a weird,
So,
fucked
She's
up
so
Curator-
small
koala.
compared to him.
If you're downstairs eating breakfast when you just hear boom, 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 boom down the stairs, and you look as Tackle comes into view with Sissel just clinging to him, some slight drool at the edge of her mouth, just like wah.
Good boy, Tackle. You didn't even use many spell points last night. What's your excuse?
Spell points in an in-character sense. Just
Insert
fucking
whatever
breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
anyone-
You didn't insert magical power substitute.
Spells.
I used a
Spells.
lot of staff charges.
Oh
my God.
Boo-hoo. I wish my item had charges I could use.
Well, I
instead
don't have
of my
as
own
much
power.
utility as you.
Oh, the Blue Hearts meta is so strict.
I don't know. I still don't know if this conversation's actually
Listen-
happening. in character or not.
Listen, I got.
Okay.
Listen here, I got
Yes.
orange purses. Don't even fuck with me.
Oh my, okay.
This
Alright.
is
Alright.
like the orange
I will
parse.
turn this game
Okay.
around.
Well, you should probably get up. You're already all the way downstairs.
Okay, food. Food.
You start shoveling food into your mouth just as Mito walks in.
So, like, hypothetically speaking, if someone shows up in your room in the middle of the night and pledges their fealty to you in some kind of weird ancestral tradition that you didn't really know anything about until now, what would you do in that situation?
How much did you drink last night?
You good?
Uh,
You good?
I mean, I wish I could say that it was the drink, but I know it's not. I'm going to kind of like hold up the sending stone, because otherwise I wouldn't have this. And I'll put it back in my pocket.
So. What?
I don't know. I thought she was going to try to kill me. That probably would have been a lot easier to deal with.
Fighting to the death one-on-one in your room at night would be a lot easier than the conversation you had to have. That was so weird.
It's more straightforward.
I know, it's just... the statement's really funny.
The other thing is that we did kind of run into her. Do you remember that dwarf that tried to kill us in the forest like- with the company?
Vaguely.
So, I mean, she says she's not trying to kill us right now. And I
And-
didn't roll an insight check to be able to tell if she
You
was.
sure didn't.
I like. Ever since Malk was like, stop rolling so many insight checks, I just stopped doing it and I started left off do it all the time, so I just don't do it anymore. It's a bad. I've gotten out of habit.
Don't listen to Falk. Roll as many insight checks as you need to feel safe.
Wow.
You are not the player. We can do whatever we want.
Fine.
Oh, maybe the reason why I felt like I could trust her was that I also had a really weird dream. You know, mystical destiny kind of stuff.
Sausages
There was
before
this-
bed.
There. I'm so glad that you're trying to reduce my mystical destiny to whatever I ate before I fell asleep. But, I mean, maybe that's true.
So,
Anyways, I had a really weird night.
So what? So someone who tried to kill us before just shows up in your
Yeah.
room and gives you a sending stone?
Yeah. She was kind of like, yeah, you know, I'll protect you, and I'll, like, die for you if you want.
Oh wow. That's
And I was like, please don't.
that's coming on a little strong. Why?
Yeah. It's like, apparently their family did this for mine a long time ago before my, was it my grandfather? Or my great-grandfather?
Great-grandfather.
Okay. Before my great-grandfather kind of fucked everything up, which is probably why I don't know about it. I still don't really know why I don't. I might have to talk to my dad at some point. So yeah, I'm like gonna kind of slowly eat a piece of scrambled egg.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
that's a lot to unpack.
Goff
It
is
happens.
gonna show up in the door because he actually wasn't there, and he's gonna
Yeah.
waltz his way. I guess more like stumble his way in.
He just walks into a very awkward, weird energy.
Are we in the tavern?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we're
you're
just
in
the
having
dining room.
breakfast.
Or the dining room? Okay, that's right. That's right. Yeah, and Goff walks in, and just nods to everyone. Does it look like a weird conversation's happening? Or like, does Goff see it, people acting weird, or does he just think nothing of
It's
it?
probably kind of quiet.
He just walks in and he says,
How is everyone today?
uh, you know, same old.
Can I throw a visitor
Goff's-
in a room at night?
He-
Don't say it like that.
Well, I imagine that's her business. I don't.
That
I don't know why that
no,
matters to me.
no, it's not like that. Some, someone shows up and pledges their fealty to you.
Mido's laughing. Mido's laughing at Hiraeth.
Anyways, if you see a dwarf around, and she might be the dwarf that tried to kill us a while back, don't attack her for a while. I'm trying to figure this out. In the forest.
Goff
with the
just
company.
stands there completely still, and he like turns his head very slightly.
I. Steel Song, you're going to have to indulge me a bit here. Why is a dwarf that trying to kill us? Why would I see them? And why should I not attack them?
Well, now, before I tell, I already feel is Ellen in here, so I don't have to tell the story
Yeah.
too many more times. Okay, because I'm probably gonna have to talk to Vern about it soon too. 'Cause I need to know how you deal with people who listen to your orders. So keep in mind, I didn't know about. Wait, Falk, I knew the thing about. I know some of this stuff, but it's been a while. Like how much of this was I aware of? Because did I know about my great grandfather before this
Yes.
point? Okay,
Yeah,
I
your-
do
your
vaguely
father did
remember
tell
that.
about
Yeah.
that he was the last legendary scalp.
Okay. Did I know that he fucked everything up, or did we just? I just
No,
know.
you
Okay.
just know that he kind of went off somewhere.
Okay.
Disappeared.
Well, I always knew that my great grandfather was the last of the legendary skalds in my family, but I didn't know much beyond that. And apparently, he kind of fucked some shit up, and there was this clan that were kind of like our bodyguards or something, and he was using them in a way that was bad. And anyway, she's from this clan, and she thought that she should seek me out and do this ancestral offering of her services or whatever like that, as my bodyguard or whatever. And that's not even that's only the second weirdest thing that happened to me last night. I also had a dream where I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. I think there's more stuff that I'm going to have to learn soon. But the weirdest part about all of it is that it's all like, yeah, well, it's gonna happen soon, but I don't think it's going to happen now. But anyway, she's probably being serious. I didn't think if she wanted to kill me, she probably could have just done it. Did you have any more specific questions?
Goff at this point is like, he's like, he has both hands wrapped around the staff and he's leaning forward. He's just like resting his head on one of his hands, like in disbelief. Like how casually you're talking about this.
I think I have more questions than you want to answer right now, but okay, let me get this straight.
Listen, I didn't really get raised with the knowledge of some kind of grand destiny, so I don't really know what's going on.
Look, so someone, an ancient, a tradition once belonging to your clans that was interrupted or destroyed by your ancestor is this dwarven woman is trying to preserve it.
Yes. Also
But
because,
she works for the company who
yes.
killed Ellen's mother, potentially her father, and are at some point going to try to kill us again.
Well,
What did she say about that?
she said that they didn't have a hit out on us right now. But
she did not seem willing to forego her allegiance.
It seems like it's something we would have to help with. It seems like they have some kind of leverage over her. Like, if she turned against them, they would turn against her and hurt her family.
Well, I, if possible, would like to talk to this person myself. But
Well, as long as nobody
I
tries to kill
trust-
her, because she was worried about that.
I am in disbelief at how gently and casually you are mentioning all this, but as for your dream, if you had a message, that is not so odd to me. Even when I was but an infant, I heard Eldath speak to me, and while we were traveling across the sea and at other times, she has reached out. I have received visions and messages and ideas of fate, so that is not so strange. For you to carry this blood of steel song and to wield this power or summon spirits, I don't quite understand it, but it does not surprise me necessarily. It seems that there's more to your family than you might have thought, though. That could be. How do you say it? Heavy.
Yeah.
Well, I will trust your word on it, but I do not feel comfortable with the thought of someone just being in your room at night.
No, me neither.
How did she do it?
She can literally just right into a shadow and go somewhere else. It's really weird. I watched her do it.
I've never heard of magic like that before, have I?
No.
Oh, that's something to keep a lookout for. I've never heard of that kind of movement. It's a little bit terrifying. Well, if they say nothing's happening right at this moment, at least we have time to figure out what that's all about.
Well, we're going to have unfinished business with the company no matter what.
Goff will sit down and start participating in the eating.
What are the people behind the counter looking? Are they just kind of
I don't know.
You're in a
Par for the
separate.
No,
course.
we're
Oh,
at
in the
the,
separate.
we're at
Okay,
the
sorry.
bar.
You're in your
Yeah, that's what this is a weird conversation to have out in
Oh,
the
You
open.
have your little
I
private
mean, I
dining
was
room that
assuming it
you-
was either that or it's early enough that the place isn't officially open.
Yeah.
I mean, we have had important conversations at the bar before. God knows what Agatha and I can't remember the other guy's name.
Baldric.
Yeah, God knows what they've heard and just kept to themselves.
Yeah,
That's
what
why
you
we
pay 'em
have
for.
to pay
Yeah.
them for their
Discretion. All right. So as you all sit down together for breakfast and get ready for whatever further adventures
Oh boy.
await the blue hearts. I think that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Yo, you got yourself a bodyguard?
Oh, you know when that happens, right?
Oh yeah,
I
you
hate it
know.
when you
I
just
hate-
have like just some
Hate when
person show
magical
up.
destiny comes knocking.
Oh my god.
I'm so excited for Harith.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Hi, Patty.
Hello.
Hello, Patty.
Patty.
Come on, when are we gonna have Verna come in for breakfast?
Oh yeah, sorry, Patty. We
Yeah, just now.
Yeah, enduring destiny.
Enduring destiny.
You have made
Alright.
friends with Danya. Danya will now die for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
She's just really not prepared
That-
for this.
I want to commend Falk. I want to commend you on the description of that dream because I was visualizing it. I was in my theater of the mind. It was.
Yeah.
I was like. I could like. I was like. It was. I was like. It was like cinematic. Like you did a really good job of like
Thank you.
making it visual. I don't know. I how to say that better, but I could see it all happening in a really cool way.
Thank you.
That was really cool.
I need to start seeding more of that Heraith plot line.
Yeah. Oh,
Haraith's been
shit.
scot-free for the most part up until now, but now you get
Well,
some shit
you
too,
and
fucker.
you and Sissel are up on in the chamber.
You're up at the bat.
Mm.
And probably Mido at some point in Verna.
Oh man.
Hell
I
yeah.
gotta bring that shit back
Oh,
together.
Mido
you
and
guys.
Verna are not done. Not
Secret
at all.
Verna plots.
Oh, there's some secret plots that I haven't even played my
Mm.
hand at yet. I mean, it has nothing to do with the Emmeline and Donrick shit. It's something else entirely.
Was all of this planned before we had the encounter with the company people?
I can't reveal my secrets.
I wanted to because like I used that spell on her and I was just trying to decide like how like clutch that was.
I think if you hadn't used that spell, you would not be having this
Ah.
visit.
Wow.
Which spell was it?
I used the Greater Song of Spirits on her.
Oh,
Ghost.
right, yeah.
Oh.
Man, that's such a weirdly specific. I mean, I guess you could have used it and had her seen it, and it probably still would have resulted in. But like, that's such a weirdly specific interaction. I love it.
Well,
That's
I
some
guess
Dark
it's
Souls
best I
shit.
didn't like straight up kill her.
Yeah, I mean, you took
Aren't
off half
you
her
glad
health,
you
Yeah.
did?
Yeah.
but I made those guys specifically roll death saves because they're a little bit more important than your average mook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're NPCs,
Cool.
as far as I'm concerned. Maybe you'll meet more of them later.
That's exciting. I'm gonna stop recording.
Yeah, when they're trying to kill us.